the Nassau Coliseum. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to call it home again. But it's not just my home, it's your home too. The Islanders' new ice age is about to begin, and I promise you, the atmosphere here at the Coliseum will be filled with excitement, and you can be a part of it.
Islanders' full and partial season ticket packages are now available. Call 1-800-882-ISLES.
It's great to be home, so why don't you join me here at the Coliseum? Call today to reserve your seat on the aisle.
The following is a Sports Channel double take.
Seamack, the Zalapokin, scores! Riche, scores! Bobby Holding tipped it in. Varsky drops it, Todd following, scores! Kevin Todd, second goal. Gardner in front of him, Gardner in, Mike Gardner, save, Craig Billington! Lemieux to Holding, score! Bobby Holding! Live from the Burns Meadowland Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Sports Channel presents New Jersey Devils hockey. Tonight, for the third time this season, the New Jersey Devils take on their cross-river rivals, the New York Rangers. Series tied this year at 1-1. Let's take a look at our Patrick Division standings, brought to you by Payne Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. With the New Jersey Devils and the Rangers meeting twice this week, you see what an impact it could have if the Devils can come away with 4 points. Other games tonight affecting the division. Washington is going to be playing at Ottawa, and Quebec will be playing at Pittsburgh. Welcome, everybody. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Tonight, big crowd, holiday spirit. These two clubs get together again. The chants have already started between the fans. Let's go Rangers, let's go Devils.
It's still very early in the season, too early to call it a big game. But it's an important game, I think, more important for the Devils because they're still looking to find that home ice personality that they have not found all season long. They played very well on the road. That's where they played their best hockey. But here at home, they have not played the same exciting brand of hockey.
New York Rangers tonight, we short a couple of people they usually have in there. Let's take a look at the lines we're going to see, Peter.
Well, a line that has played so well for the New York Rangers over, of course, the last 5 or 7 games. Kovalev, Waite, and Stephen King. Stephen King, of course, a great story. He was picked up in the supplemental draft last season. That's a draft where players that aren't even drafted when they're 18 and 19 and 20 never expected to make the club. He's had a big impact for the New York Rangers. On defense, player not there is Leach. He's the big name not there. And also, we're missing Kevin Lowe not playing in tonight's game. He injured his neck last game against the Hartford Whalers.
John Van Beesbrook in net has won his last 4. The Devils he'll face tonight.
For the New Jersey Devils, some of the players have also added a spark to the Devils. Scott Pellerin on the left side with Billy Guerin on the right, but playing in tonight's game because Peter Stastny broke his toe in the last seconds of the game against Tampa. Jimmy Dowd, New Jersey native, is up, and he'll be centering the line of McKay and McLean. And on defense, Scott Stevens, an immense game against Tampa Bay. He blocked 7 shots in that game. He scored the game-winning goal. It's a terrific performance by Scott Stevens.
And Billington in goal tonight, so he will have started all 3 against the Rangers. He is 1-1 against the New York Rangers. We'll be back in just a minute.
New Jersey Devils hockey is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. The only beer with taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Nothing beats a Bud. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, nobody beats the Wiz.
Peter, this matchup, most would think the New York Rangers overall would have the lead on the New Jersey Devils, but might be interested in of late.
We're looking at 11-year totals in this rivalry. You see, on top, that's the overall numbers. But you see, the first 28 games, the Rangers dominated as they would have thought. But in the last 44 games, the Rangers are only 1 game over 500. And, Gary, it's even crystallized itself into a real home ice series. The Devils have won 11 of the last 15 games here at the Meadowlands, but the Devils have only won 1 of their last 12 at Madison Square Garden.
And the same thing's working this year. 1-1 series. Each has won on their home ice. Stan, how about scratches?
Well, there are 2 key injuries on the Rangers. Brian Leach has a nerve irritation, compression in his neck and shoulder. Suffered that against the St. Louis Blues. Kevin Lowe has a stiff neck, and he's a day-to-day. And Jan Eriksson, stiffness in his hip and back. He is out indefinitely. Ty Domi, Phil Bourque, and Tony Amonte. Those are all coaches' decisions. And, of course, the Devils have a couple of key injuries as well. Kevin Todd has a bruised shoulder, and he is day-to-day. Peter Stastny has a bruised toe. He is also day-to-day. The rest, Miles O'Connor, Tommy Albaline, Tom Chorske, Dino Seeger, and Dave Barr, all coaches' decisions. A couple of guys you should watch on the Rangers. Number 3, James Patrick. He's the guy who replaces Brian Leach, and he's been playing well lately. Number 9, Adam Graves. I'm going to have him on at the end of the first period. And, of course, Stephen King, who's been real hot. We'll have more right after this.
New Jersey Devils are ranked 12th overall in the National Hockey League, 16-14-1. The Rangers are 9th at 17-12-4. Rangers, a 3-game road trip will be concluded here. They had a 4-4 tie at Hartford in their last outing. Devils, of course, are coming back from Tampa Bay, where they had a shutout 2-0 win against the Lightning. We'll have, looks like, a full house on hand for this one tonight. Not unexpected. And as always, there's as much competition going on in the seats as there is on the ice generally, with at least as far as the cheering is concerned. Marine color guard on hand for our national anthem tonight.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ring clear above bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Christine McCabe and the Marine color guard in our national anthem.
And Gary, like all of the New York Rangers, John Van Vriesbroek is getting hot. The Rangers 5-1-1 in their last 7 games. Van Vriesbroek has won his last 4 starts. The Rangers just now starting to play the same kind of hockey they played almost all of last season. Greg Billington, Gary, I don't think you can play a better game. A more precise, professional, solid performance like Greg Billington had in Tampa. 29 saves, but it was a solid performance as I've seen.
Jim Dowd, who's going to be playing in just his 2nd National Hockey League game, will be out there to take the face-off for the Devils against Andy Van Helleman, the Dean of Officials. Gord Brosiker and Bob Hodges with him. And the face-off will be won by Nemchinov, and we are underway. Sent in by James Patrick. Driver going back to get it. Driver and Danico, the defensive pairing for the Devils. On the near side, John McLean. McLean brings it up. Dowd will be in the middle. Van Vriesbroek makes the save. McLean follows it in himself, centered it, and it'll be picked up on the near side by Adam Graves. Graves drops it right side. Graves is coming to the middle. So is Nemchinov. Son in the Nemchinov block. Gartner the shot. Save made by Billington. Gartner end to end, centered it, and then it ended up coming back to him. Richer kicks it up ice, and both teams will change it up near side. Mark Hardy. Mark Hardy out 4 of the last 6 games, now starting to get some playing time here as Roger Nielsen continues to juggle players for the New York Rangers. Near side to Seamack to Zelepukin. He's out there with Holik as well. Backhand shot. Van Vriesbroek clipped up by Seamack. Controlled by Zelepukin. Zelepukin hit in the corner by Hardy. A move in around Turcotte and Bobby Holik. Couple of tough guys. Holik hauls him down. Bobby Holik gets held by Turcotte in return. Devils able to hold it in. The flex off 3 Rangers into the middle. Turcotte will bring it up. Darren Turcotte, 18 goals, 32 games. Clipped it wide. Turcotte trying to get it on the return from Broughton. Bobby Holik the other way. Holik moving in. 3-on-2, now 3-on-3. Rangers get back. Seamack, good move. Deflected wide. Zelepukin tried to knock it down with the stick in front of the net. Zelepukin back to the point. Kasatonov. He'll take it. Van Beesbrook kicks it away. Fetisov moves up. Shot right on Van Beesbrook by Slava. And the Rangers need to get it up for a change. They don't. Held in. Fetisov again. He moves in, rams it to the corner. And Van Beesbrook says enough of this and hangs on. And a little hitting behind the net. Maybe a little late. Zelepukin got dumped by Turcotte after the whistle.
I think it was Joey Sorella's elbow he ran into back there. But Gary, we saw two things that will be important to this game in the first 2 minutes of this period.
It's Kasatonov with King. Chris King. Well, we haven't played 2 minutes yet. They got 2 games this week. Seamak takes a shot. And the 2 points are.
And you know, Gary, it was interesting. Last season, these two clubs played 14 times. 7 times during the regular season, and then again 7 times in the playoff series, which the Rangers eventually won 4-3. But I didn't feel in the first 2 games any of this. Any of the kind of motion that we've seen, it looks like it's taken a little bit deeper into the season for both of these clubs to get into it and get into this rivalry again.
And it's no quirk of fate that Andy Van Hellemond happens to be refereeing this game. If you check your box scores around the National Hockey League, you'll see Van Hellemond happens to show up on nights where you can anticipate some pretty heated rivalries going on. Not a knock on other officials, just that Andy is the senior official in the National Hockey League and recognized as one of the best in the game. And he's filling the boxes. I mean, he is sending a message.
I think he sent everybody from both sides.
He has sent everybody off the ice.
For sure.
Well, he's going to take them all. They're all going to go. So you can put a whole new line out there. You talk about coincidental minors. We're going to have about 10 of them. Herb Brooks looking on. He won't mind seeing this kind of activity coming from the Devils early on, and neither will Roger Nielsen on the other side for the New York Rangers. Perfectly all right early in the game. Gonna feel that way, let it go. And the fans sure don't mind it. And Van Hellemond will now get him out.
And for the Devils, this would be the line that you would least expect to get involved in one of these situations. Zelepukin, Seamak, and Holik. That old European syndrome catching up to them. They won't get involved, but right away, Seamak, who has really impressed his teammates with the way he's played in the last 10 or 12 games. Now watch Sorella's elbow. He turns right here. That elbow comes up. Looks like it was maybe more of the hand in the face with Sorella, but then all of a sudden, and this is the difference right here, Gary. Watch what happens as it goes along. You count 3, 2, 1, and all of a sudden, instead of the old, here's the Fetisov and Kasatonov. These are the things these two guys have learned about important games. You can't be outmanned, especially early. Doesn't matter if you be a face-off outside the zone. Get involved.
Nobody loses anything on this. All 5 are going to go, so both lines are in the penalty box. So we remain 5 on 5, and they'll just, both teams are going to be short a line here, and we'll get to the calls here in just a minute. Scott Niedermayer going back to get it. Adam Graves on him. Niedermayer on the touch up behind the net. Graves stole it, got it out in front. Messier trying to pass to Graves coming back. I think the Devils thought, Niedermayer thought there was going to be icing on that, and there was no whistle. They clear the zone, sent in by Hurlburt. Mike Hurlburt playing in his 16th game. He's playing in them all since call-up last month. Bookable missed it wide. Rebound back to Hurlburt. Hurlburt dumps it hard around into the corner. Lemieux will go over to get it. Yanni Oyanen, Lemieux, and McKay are on this line for the New Jersey Devils. There's Hurlburt at center. Near side to Messier. Messier, leading scorer in this game. He is tied for 14th overall in the league with 47 points, 15th in assists. Into the corner played by Lemieux. That's the Devils' leading scorer with 14 goals, 20 assists, Claude Lemieux. Lemieux to the red line, sends it in. Lemieux got the empty netter at the end of the game in Tampa. All of those penalties ended up being on sportsmanlike conduct. So both lines out of there, and everybody got the same penalty. Centering pass, tipped wide. Good play by Driver, who got the stick in on Steve King. Driven to center. Devils trying to return. Knocked away from Scott Pellerin. Near side to Guerin. Guerin dumps it. The Devils will see how the lines hold together tonight with changes. Great hit made by Troy Millette. Hooked in by Danico just wide. What a shot was put on the near side corner by Troy Millette. In the corner, Patrick holding up. Scott Pellerin spun it in behind the net. Billy Guerin has it. Guerin looking to Danico. The defenseman moved in. His shot blocked. Rangers get it back. Patrick dumps it out. At center ice, King took a little check there from Danico. Takes a bigger check from Scott Pellerin. That kid loves to hit. Pellerin will just go at you no matter where you are on the ice. And the Devils have needed a bit of that this season, and they're getting it out of him. Kovalev in. Alexei Kovalev, one of the real fine skaters of the league. Passes right through the crease. Boom, the shot deflected on a save made by Billington.
There are two areas we're going to talk about tonight's game. Speed to the neutral ice zone. If we see a lot of that favors the Rangers. If there's a lot of play along the boards and down deep in the zones.
Back the other way. Niedermeyer got back in time on defense to cut it off. Nemchinov coming out at center trying to handle it. Good break for the Rangers. Gartner's had a couple of chances here in this first period already, and that's not unusual. Gartner can dump them in. Turcotte and Gartner lead the Rangers in goals. Both have picked up 18. Stevens' pass comes to Richer. Richer now with McLean and Dowd. Richer hung up from behind by Nemchinov. Poked away by Bukaboom. Gartner. Stevens grabs on. No call made on it. Brought in right side. Mike Hurlbert dropped it back to Nemchinov. Gartner in front. Nemchinov looking for him. Nemchinov. Gartner, a little room. The shot blocked by Stevens. Gartner gets it back. Mike Gartner in the middle of Nemchinov. Nemchinov tied up by Dowd. Dowd, his first appearance for the Devils this season. Played only one game last year. Graves! What a move by Graves, but he couldn't get it back on the forehand side. Hurlbert steps up. Hurlbert holds it in. Nemchinov can't cut it down. Richer and Patrick on the far side. James Patrick holds it in. Nemchinov with his back, able to protect the puck. Graves got it by Richer. Adam Graves spinning, and again he can't get the shot off. He blocks it. Graves centering. Score!
We talk about just a matter of time. You can feel that one coming for the New York Rangers. And there's the man right there that set it up. Graves with work on that line just kept going. But watch what happens right here. Dowd gets the puck, goes to flip it out, misses it. The Devil forwards head out of the zone. Everyone relaxed for a second. It's going to be a lucky goal off the foot of Nemchinov. But that goal was not lucky because that was hard work by the Rangers.
Watch Nemchinov, the skate, number 13, as he comes across right there. Actually hit off a double stick, too. Dowd's hit Dowd's stick, then Nemchinov's skate. There's Oyen, and his shot. Save Van Beesbrook. Rebound, Sorella batted it right in on Van Beesbrook. Had to make a couple of saves. Richer over to Driver. Deflected wide. Stevens was standing out in front. Nemchinov. Lemieux. Lemieux, good job to hold it in. And a second effort by Lemieux to hold it in. Driver. Stevens. Yanni Oyanen in front. Shot blocked. And it's clipped out to center ice. Both teams change it up. 1:07 left on the Devils' power play. Stevens back in. Devils' power play's been hurting. Graves broke it up to Messier. Short-handed. He's dangerous short-handed. Driver took it away. Clears it out to center. Got it to Lemieux. Lemieux's got Yanni Oyanen. Oyanen in. Oyanen! It slid too far ahead, but he got pulled from behind. There's another penalty coming on the Rangers. Messier touches it up, and the Devils will have a two-man advantage for 46 seconds.
Gary, interesting play right there. The New York Rangers, James Patrick got a little too excited and tried to jump up and make what was a 2-on-2 with Graves, a 3-on-2. And when he did, he got out of position. Oyanen transition, trying to get back. Patrick, you see, coming back into the picture, tries to pull him down. But now it's a big point in this hockey game as far as the Devils getting back. Scoring, you have to score in your 5-on-3s. Get the crowd into this game. Get something going here at the Meadowlands.
Broughton's tripping came at 6:10. Hardy slashing at 7:24. There they are in the penalty box. Devils have a 5-on-3 power play. The Devils have had only 4 power play goals in their last 32 chances. The power play, which started out red hot, has slipped a bit. It is still, as we saw, 4th in the National Hockey League, but struggling a bit right now.
And they had 2 5-on-3 chances for and against in Tampa Bay. There was no goals in either situation.
Seaback, Zalapukin, Bobby Holik will be on the line for the Devils in this 5-on-3. Jay Wells will come out with Messier. Messier, who took the face-off, lost it to Seaback. Over to Fetisov. Slava with driver along the line. 2-man advantage. Rangers lead 1-0. Zalapukin wanted to center. Fetisov fakes it. Zalapukin in. Shot blocked by Vukovic. Driver shot. Block. Rebound wide of the net by Zalapukin. Messier trying to clear. Can't. Driver holds it in. Down low. Broken up and cleared out of the zone. Nice play by Vukovic. 16 seconds remaining in the 2-man advantage. Bobby Holik in. Holik to the point. Fetisov. Slava looking. The shot blocked by Wells. Didn't know it. Fetisov got it back. Stolen and cleared by Jay Wells. And that'll do it on the 2-man advantage. Another minute 14 now. This is a 5-on-4 power play. Fetisov gets it off to Seaback again. Seaback moving in. Broughton comes out of the penalty box and stays on the ice on the penalty killing unit. Zalapukin off the dasher. Bobby Holik stood up by Vukovic. Good hit. Paul Broughton clears it out. Billington back to get it. Slava back. Devils will change.
Gary, the Devils need to get going. They can't allow the Rangers to get out of a 5-on-3 situation, then come back and get that next goal.
Richer moves in. The blast. Van Beesbroek the save. Kicks it up into the seats. 40 seconds remaining on the power play for New Jersey.
Stephane Richer, 11 goals, 10 assists, 21 points this season. He is one of those rare players that really doesn't need line mates to score. He creates so many of his own goals himself. Just as you see right here, he just picked the puck up at center ice and uses that speed to go wide. He's great at picking up a defenseman's stick and breaking in on net. But again, he's not the kind of guy that you need that center iceman, so he can create his own line.
John Van Beesbroek. He has won his last 4 starts. Comes in with that 9.5-2 mark. 8.94 percentage save for him. Van Beesbroek 19, 18, and 2. The New Jersey Devils record. It's cleared out of the zone. Billington has to go back to get it. So the Devils not getting a lot of chances here on the power play. 28 seconds left on it. Still time. Batted up in the air into the seats by Jay Wells. He got all of that one.
The fresh look for Jay Wells. Jay Wells promised his wife he'd shave off his beard when he scored a goal last game against Hartford. Jay scored and right into the dressing room after the game and get the old shaver out.
Cuter than ever, right? 10:58 to go here in the first period. 9 shots on goal for the Devils, 5 for the Rangers, but they have the 1-0 lead. Devils have 22 seconds remaining on this power play chance. It started out as a 5-on-3. Scott Niedermayer back in action. He's been bothered with a bad back. Kept him out of games. Brought up by Stevens. Stevens to Lemieux. Lemieux couldn't hang on. Randy Gillen will clear it out, and that's almost going to do it. Niedermayer cuts it down. Power play, you see the time remaining on it. Richer at center, and it's over. And a penalty coming up at center ice. Interference. We'll be back. Specialty units will remain in action. 1-0 Rangers. Your test to be an official. What is that sign for?
No vampires.
Got to turn it up right a little bit more. New York Rangers leading 1-0 and killing off the Devils power play, including the 5-on-3. Now go on the power play on Ojanen's interference. Billington trying to clear it out. Can't. Danico blocked the centering pass. Good play, Kenny Danico. Hurlburt could not hold it in. Hurlburt dumps it off for Turcotte. Turcotte working on a point here in this power play unit. McKay is out there in the penalty killing unit up front for the Devils, driving Hurlburt back a little deeper. Power play for the Rangers this year. They've spread out the goals. Tony Amonte, who's not playing tonight, has 8 power play goals to lead them. Messier's picked up 6. Darren Turcotte has 6. Mike Gartner right there with it. Back up to Hurlburt. Rangers getting it set up. Minute 10 on the power play. Hurlburt the shot. Save made by Billington. Lost it. Finds it. Pulls it back in.
With our first look at Hurlburt. And the word on him is a good, quick, accurate shot. And with Leach out of the lineup, you're going to see him on the point. He and Turcotte. Turcotte becomes a very key player for the New York Rangers with Leach gone.
Probert is not afraid to shoot, I'll tell you that. If the puck comes out to him on that point, he'll let it go. He played at St. Lawrence University College Hockey and has been in the minor league since the 88-89 season. And getting his chance this season with the New York Rangers for the first time at the show.
This is his rookie year, and he's 26 years old, so he knows he's going to make it now or he's not going to make it.
He looks very solid out there in a couple of games that I've seen him play. It's going to be cleared out. Devils trying to kill off this power play. 55 seconds remaining on it. Rangers getting the goal unassisted from Graves at 5:23, and Graves is going to be Stan's guest during our first intermission. And Gary Bettman will be joining Stan during our second intermission. Battle in the corner, Pellerin and Messier. Pellerin, Messier, Pellerin, Lemieux. Boy, I'll tell you. And Messier's talking to Andy Van Hellemond as he comes up ice, telling him about Pellerin, who he thinks hooking him.
And Pellerin must do something out there to bother players, because we saw what Lemieux did. Took a couple penalties against Pellerin, and right there, Messier just hacked and whacked at Pellerin twice in the corner.
Good play on the far side by Stevens, who held the man up coming into the zone. 16 left on the power play. Turcotte dumped it off. Onside was Gartner. Lost it to Fetisov. Slava brings it back out. John McLean's onside. McLean will rag it. Back to Kasatonov. 5 on the power play for the Rangers. Devils penalty killers looking sharp. McLean knocks it away and sends it in. That'll do it. So the Rangers do not convert on the power play. Good job of the penalty killers of the Devils. And with 8:28 left to go, remains 1-0 Rangers. James Patrick sends it in. Leach is out of there, has the injury, not playing. Peter Stastny injured a foot. The game against Tampa, blocking a shot. He is out of there for the Devils. Keep that in mind when it comes to face-offs tonight, as the Devils have lost their best face-off man.
And also their number 2 center iceman, Kevin Todd, is out of the lineup for the second straight game. So face-offs, Devils are going to have to find somebody to take those important draws, because Stastny's been almost exclusively the defensive zone face-off man.
So the Devils will be counting face-offs tonight as to who's doing what against whom. That will be fed to the coaches on the bench. Seamack in. Bobby Hully cutting. Seamack the shot deflected wide. Near side, Niedermeyer steps up. Scott Niedermeyer took the hit from King. Will be picked up behind the net by Jay Wells. Got his only goal of the season on Saturday. Wells did. Bobby Hully, and that will be an icing call. 37 left to go. Packed house here at the Meadowlands. Third meeting of the season. Rangers and Devils.
Yanni O'Yannin back in the lineup for the Devils tonight, looking for some offense.
And taking the face-off, Graves comes away with it. Nemchinov won it. Graves sends it in. Billington behind the net. Danico goes back to get it. Kenny whips it around for McKay, tied up by Nemchinov. Nemchinov, 11 goals, 15 assists for the New York Rangers this season. Thought about going out in front of the net. O'Yannin didn't. Still lost it. Graves the shot, saved Billington. Devils made a big mistake and got away with it, at least for the moment. See if they can get it out of the zone. Nemchinov looking. Nemchinov. Centered shot. Missed wide by Gartner again. Randy McKay trying to pin it up. Graves trying to free it up. Does. Graves going to the front. Nemchinov looking for him. Graves tipped it. Couldn't get all of it. Picked up by Lemieux. Lemieux can't get it by Nemchinov. Here goes this line again. Nemchinov for Graves. Graves, Gartner, and Nemchinov. Hit put on by Danico. Got it away, though, to Gartner. Gartner with driver on him. Reverses to Graves. Graves left it behind the net. Ken Danico. Centering pass goes wide. Held in. Defenseman stepping up was Wells. Nemchinov again. Graves in front. Rangers sending their defenseman in. Picked up by Lemieux was Joe Cirella trying to cut in. Billington trying to play it. Wells trying to hold it in. Billington gets back. Off to Gartner. Gartner trying to center. Devils need to do something. Cirella save made Billington. They need a change.
Yeah, there is no secret to why this line is working. They are just out hustling the Devils in their own zone. 3 or 4 times the Devils have had the puck, looked up ice, and they've been checked from behind. Instead of realizing that this line is hot, get it out of the zone quickly.
Yanni O'Yannin made the original mistake when he hesitated coming in front, went behind, and the Rangers were able to take the puck away, and after that it was all pressure.
Now, this is one of the things Herb Brooks has talked about, knowing who's out there. If you got a line that's playing well and is hot, as this line is with Nemchinov, Gartner, get the puck out of the zone. Don't let them do this to you.
Dowd against Messier, and they'll face it off again. Jim Dowd out of Brick, New Jersey, where he played his high school hockey, then on to Lake Superior State in college. 25 years old, 6'1", 190-pounders. We said he played one game last season. Second NHL game here tonight, just called up to take Stasny's place. This line stays out. Stevens intercepts, gets it up. Devils will be able to clear the zone. Richer got it out to McLean. John McLean in. McLean spinning, looking for some help. Finds a little skating room. Takes the shot, deflected wide of the net. Van Beesbroek didn't see that as Dowd tipped it. Richer's got it. Richer to Dowd. Dowd pinned up, lost it. Hurlburt trying to tie Dowd up. Van Beesbroek's got the puck and hangs on.
Talking to Jim Dowd this morning at practice, they played 3 games in 3 nights at Utica, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Sunday, he was told just to come up here and practice with the Devils. They weren't sure if Todd was going to be healthy enough, how bad Stastny was. But this morning, they found out that both of them, Stastny and Kevin Todd, were not going to be able to play. So Jim Dowd gets his second chance. He only had 1 chance last year. But you know, even he was saying this morning, you never know. If he gets hot tonight, gets a couple of guys that are scoring, McLean, McKay, get a goal, you get your foot in the door, and all of a sudden you're here.
The Devils need scoring. I mean, if somebody comes along and puts the puck in the net, you're going to stay. Shot rolled wide of Van Beesbroek. Again, Dowd the opportunity. McLean. John McLean in the corner. One thing that Herb Brooks is doing, when these call-ups come from Utica, you're in. I mean, you're taking the draws, you're starting the game, you're running the regular shift. 3-on-2. Rangers offside. Jim Dowd had 8 goals, 19 assists in 31 games with Utica. The only other appearance was last season. He played against the Bruins.
And Jim Dowd, who will be 24 on Christmas Day.
Heart beating a little faster than normal, I would think.
Yeah, you know, especially when you play a game right here against the New York Rangers. It might almost be easier to start someplace else, but this would be the kind of game you could just always tuck away in that scrapbook if you had a big one.
Devils are out shooting the Rangers 10-7, with the Rangers making that fluke goal, the one that bounced around and in but was earned by the effort the Rangers put on by Graves. That's holding up right now. To center, Millette over to Guerin. Billy Guerin kicks into the corner. Guerin, they hit with Hardy. Hardy comes back on him. Millette centers. Rangers there. James Patrick. James Patrick playing his 28th game of the season, a +1 on the year. We got a penalty coming up behind the play, and there's the whistle. It's going to be a holding call. Power play when we come back.
Guerin off the ice for holding. And the Devils are going with the new penalty killing alignment. Danico and Stevens on the points, with a forward and Bruce Driver up front. The Devils going with that 3 defenseman look. One of the reasons they like to rotate, and that allows them to always have the 2 defensemen down low.
Scott Pellerin is the forward who's up there. Turcotte taking it back. Rangers had only 1 shot on their previous power play chance. Well, the New York Rangers 0 for 1 against the Devils this season. 3 for 16 on the power play. Both teams same numbers against one another in the power play. Driver clears it out. 4:50 left to go in this first period. Turcotte going back to get it. We'll update you on our out-of-town scoreboard. And Adam Graves will be along with Stan as our first intermission guest, and we'll have our holiday version of the National Hockey League notebook. Patrick on the far side. Gartner drops it behind the net. Gartner dangerous always, and especially here on the power plays. Everywhere at once. Shot deflected. Blocked by Ken Danico. Gartner over to get it to the point. Turcotte shot blocked by Driver. Gartner held in by Turcotte. Turcotte sends it down low. Looking to the front of the net. Wait out in front. And it's pushed by Patrick to center. Pellerin gets stumped. No call. Scott Pellerin hooked from behind as he tried to break out. Fans wanted to call. Don't get it. Waite brings it in. Doug Waite, who's picked up 8 goals, 10 assists. Far side Patrick. Down for Waite. Off the back of the net. Stevens. Good play by Scotty. Gets it up. McKay gets it out. Patrick tips it away to Turcotte. Turcotte working that point over to Waite. Rangers changing up in the power play unit. 40 to go on it. Brought in by Messier. Messier centering. Waite kicked away to McLean. John McLean, 2 Rangers in front of him. 3-on-2 shorthanded Devils. McLean coming in. McLean the shot. Deflected into the seats on the shorthanded chance.
One of the things that Herb Brooks has done with John McLean this year, given him some penalty killing time. Johnny Mac behind. You knew at the start of the season Johnny McLean was going to be behind Claude Lemieux and probably even Stephane Richer for that power play time. But you wanted to get McLean some ice time. So that has come more in the form of penalty killing. It's hurt Johnny Mac's totals because Johnny Mac had 3 consecutive 40-goal seasons before he sat out all of last season with a knee injury. But it may be a way, Herb Brooks' way of getting him that ice time, getting him some confidence.
A little extra skating room, too, that lets him stride it out a little bit more.
Because Lemieux deserves to be on the power play. He had 41 goals last year.
Absolutely. Billington shuts it down himself, clears it off the glass to center. John McLean coming, McKay trailing. Rangers get back. McLean, the shot, wide of the net. Again, shorthanded effort. 9 seconds left on the power play here for the Rangers. Messier coming. Graves is with him. Messier looking. Hurlburt. Graves in there. Rolled in. Blocked by Billington. And the power play is over. Guerin back out on the ice. McLean coming. Guerin's with him. John McLean spun to the corner by Broughton off Guerin. Fetisov steps in, trying to hold it in. Graves knocked it away. Slava takes it back. Fetisov, Devils clearing. John McLean sends it in, and he'll head to the bench. So 0 for 2 for the Rangers on the power play. They still have that 1-0 lead. Seamack moved up, held it in. Zalapukin with him, and Holik into the corner. Hurlburt up to the point. Bounces over Stevens. And this will be an icing call. Touched up and stopping the clock with 2:36 left to go here in the first.
Excellent job by the Devils penalty killers. But you can see where the Rangers missed Leach. Leach is their quarterback on the power play. Won the Norris Trophy last year for outstanding defenseman. Had over 100 points. And Herb Brooks knows Leach is probably going to be out for another week or so. He says if you're going to play the Rangers 2 games, it might as well be without Leach.
Kevin Lowe not playing tonight. He's played in 3 games. He's getting himself back into playing shape for the New York Rangers. He'll be shuffled in and out with all the extra bodies the Rangers have.
He has a little bit of a sore neck from falling into the board. Do you see his ice time?
Oh, he played a lot.
In the last 2 games, he's averaged 22 minutes. So he just jumped right back into it.
And he looks good. He's in great shape. Against St. Louis the other night, he played the shifts as though he'd never missed a game this season, and it was only his 2nd game of the year.
The first thing the players said about Lowe, they didn't realize how quick he was at jumping in and out and recovering.
Great decision maker on the ice. Seamack wins the draw. Shot, save, rebound, put just wide of the net by Seamack. Holik had the shot. Van Beesbrook made the save, and Seamack found the rebound, but was just wide of the post. Bobby Holik spins around, pushes it by Wells. Van Beesbrook back to get it, plays it off the dasher. Played by Holik. Zalapukin tied up, kicked away to center. Penalty coming. Kovalev was going to break, but the Rangers are going to be called here. Now up ice. Stevens has a little shoving match with Paul Broughton. Quickly backs off, not wanting to pick up another penalty here because the Devils are going to get a power play with 2:10 left to go. Chris King will go out.
The Devils and the Rangers seem to have that same problem early in the season. Too many players. And for the chemistry of the Rangers, it just seemed to really hurt them from last year. One of the things that I felt that was the most upsetting about the strike last year, I don't think the best club necessarily won the Stanley Cup. When Pittsburgh ended up winning the Stanley Cup, they were the best club at that time. But before the strike, the Rangers, who had worked all season long as a team, had done so much together with that good chemistry, were the best club, and I think they would have won the Stanley Cup, which would have been the right thing. But when Pittsburgh, once the strike was on and over, then that talent of Pittsburgh just took over.
And away they went. Driver in behind the net. The Devils had 4 shots on the previous 2 power plays, but Graves has the only goal in this game, an even strength goal. Johnny Ojanen brings it in. Ojanen centering for Lemieux. Lemieux, Richer, Ojanen, Stevens, and Driver on the power play unit for the Devils. Wells broke it up. Bukaboom covered up by Van Beesbrook. They had trouble wrapping it around the net. Stevens. Bukaboom. Let's see, Andy Van Helleman I don't think is taking anybody here. They just separate. Scotty had a magnificent game against Tampa Bay the other night.
We were talking earlier, he blocked 7 shots on Heat. It wasn't the way he did it was so impressive. He just seemed to appear. Doug Crossman, a good point man, wound up. It was looking as though he had an opening, and all of a sudden Stevens, out of nowhere, he seemed to drop from the ceiling down and block the shots. And once he blocked them, he was able to pick them up and get them out of the zone.
Well, he is going to take somebody with him. Scott, with a minute 42 left to go, you saw Stevens leaving here, heading into the dressing room, he and Bukaboom, for roughing. So they'll both go for roughing. The Devils will leave Driver, Lemieux, Oyanen, and Richer out there. Now John McLean's making his way out onto the ice here. The Devils will remain on the power play, 5-on-4.
That means that Herb Brooks thinks John McLean is skating. Herb Brooks puts people on the power plays, especially the second unit that he thinks is going that night. And McLean's work killing penalties earned him the power play time.
Johnny Oyanen on the face-off, won by Messier. Wrapped around the boards, took a hop to Graves. Graves comes with Messier. Tried to, puck stayed behind him. Minute 21 left to go on this power play for the Devils. Driver, near side to Lemieux. Devils, power play led by Lemieux's 9 power play goals. Oyanen trying to reach it. Wells got there first. Lemieux stopped it for Driver. His shot, save made, went right straight through on Van Beesbroek. Wells again. Driver can't stop this when it comes to center. John McLean picks it up. 57 left on the power play, a little longer in the period. Richer. Stephane Richer to Lemieux, cuts to the net. 1 minute in the period. John McLean shot. Yanni Oyanen got it off. It deflected off Wells and went wide. John McLean back to Driver. Oyanen. Lemieux. Oyanen. 35 on the power play. Yanni Oyanen with Wells. Wells clipped it away. Lemieux cuts off Messier. Driver digs it out along the boards. Driver dropped it back, and Lemieux couldn't handle it. Wells reached in, poked it away. 30 seconds to go in the period. You're looking at the time remaining in the period, and there you see the penalty seconds remaining on the top. Messier picks it up, drags it back around, and 10 seconds remain. Rangers need a clear get it. Devils are changing it. And the power play is down to 3 seconds. At center, Polik, Niedermeyer in front of him. Penalty is over. 9 seconds to go in the period. Niedermeyer digs it out. They won't get the shot off. Cleared up on Billington, and Mark Hardy will get the last shot of the period. That's going to do it.
Gary, good, intense period by both teams. Period dominated, I think, by the penalty killing on both sides.
Hardy and Holik bumping each other as they headed off. The linesman quickly moved in and make sure people get off the ice. The only goal scored by number 9, Adam Graves, and Adam Graves is going to be Stan Fischler's guest. He got it at 5:23 of that first period, an unassisted goal. And Stan will be talking with him when we come back here for our first intermission. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard. Also, of course, our notebook here tonight. There are the shots on goal. Devils with the advantage 13-7. After 1 from the Meadowlands, the Rangers lead the Devils 1-0.
And fans, the Devils are now offering the perfect gift for you and yours this holiday season, the 8-game holiday plan. The plan features 8 great games, including key Patrick Division matchups with the Islanders, Penguins, Flyers, and twice with the New York Rangers. And that's not all. Buy the plan, and you'll be entered in a drawing to win a fabulous 5-day, 4-night vacation for 2 to Jamaica's all-inclusive Saboni Ocho Rios Resort with first-class round-trip air transportation on Continental Airlines. To order your holiday plan, call 201-935-6050. Operators are standing by. That's 201-935-6050 for the gift they'll remember 8 times over, the Devils' 8-game holiday plan. And Adam Graves joins Stan downstairs.
Thanks very much, Peter and Adam. A very interesting first period. A whole bunch of guys going in the penalty box at one time. You ever see that happen before?
Just on a couple occasions. It's normally 3 or 4 guys from each team, or 2 or 3. It's never all 5, but I think you know, in that instant, he was just trying to send us a message that he wanted to cut out all the garbage and keep everyone on the ice and play hockey, because when you're just pushing and shoving, it's just wasting time, and it's not what the fans came to see. They came to see a hockey game, and you don't want to see that. So I think he was just trying to send a message to both teams to cut out the crap and play hockey.
Did you get the message?
Well, I think so. I think both teams stuck to hockey, although there was a few power plays in that throughout the game. I think both teams respect each other's power play, and you can't afford to take stupid penalties, and I think he was just telling us that, and I think everyone's aware of that.
Well, Adam Graves could have a middle name called Work, or we saw an example in the first period. The Rangers have the only goal of the game. Give me the Graves play-by-play on this one.
Oh, I don't know. I was just, I don't have the fanciest hands in the world, so I was just trying to control the puck, and as usual, I landed on a shot, and the puck came back to me, fortunately enough, and I just got in. I was trying to pass it, actually, over to Gartz or Sergei, and then they got it and tipped it in. So.
Well, you're typically modest. Now, let me ask you a question. The commissioner of the league is here tonight, the new commissioner, Gary Bettman, and fighting is a main issue. Now, a headline here in the Detroit paper says, Probert versus Domi brings shame to game, searching for respect. Some people think fighting will go out. How do you feel about fighting being eliminated from the NHL?
I'm kind of in the middle. I think, obviously, brawls and fights for no apparent reason where guys just fight for the sake of fighting is nonsense. But I think, in a way, you have to have a release valve, especially to protect the better players, and whether it be a Mario Lemieux or a Mark Messier or whatever, teams have to have a valve where they can protect their big guys. Otherwise, everyone's just going to run around. And whether you want to believe it or not, even though hockey players are professionals, there's a sense of respect for tougher guys, and in order to play the game and at the high level, which I think it's being played at a lot higher level. I think the new rules are excellent this year, and I think the referees are doing a good job. But I don't think you can eliminate fighting totally from the game, although it's cut down by probably 2/3 this year, and I think that's excellent.
I will give you a message to the commissioner at the end of the second period. There you have it from Adam Graves of the Rangers.
The Devils host the Hartford Whalers, Sunday at 5 on Sportschannel.
Happy holidays, New York, from the 69 Mets. Watch for us this month on Sportschannel.
The 69 Mets are in Jamaica, Fridays in January on the Hot Stove Report.
That's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz. Yager and McEachran have those goals for Pittsburgh in the Washington-Ottawa game. Hull for Ottawa. Kristich has scored for Washington. We're here at our first intermission at the Meadowlands. Rangers leading 1-0. And as they tra-la-la-la behind us, time for the holiday edition of our NHL Notebook.
Page 25 here, the Christmas season. The coaches of the National Hockey League have always been underpaid as a group. Let's have a look. They've finally started to publish the numbers for coaches and their salaries. You see Roger Nielsen, the highest paid coach in the National Hockey League at $375,000. The one name you don't see there is Scotty Bowman of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He apparently has some deferred money, which may even make him the highest coach. Pat Burns, Toronto, Al Arbor, New York Islanders. Sixth place is Herb Brooks of the New Jersey Devils. The lowest of the two expansion clubs, Terry Crisp and Rick Bowness, at $150,000. That last number you see, that's the average salary of the players in the National Hockey League, $368,000.
You smile, why?
Because that wasn't the average when I played.
All right, page 38 on our National Hockey League notebook. Let's compare the New Jersey Devils and the Rangers this year to last year. The numbers on the left, those are last year's numbers on the right this year. For the New Jersey Devils, they're only a point behind last season. The problem has been in the offense. They were averaging .361 last year. That is down. Defensively up a little bit, but as Peter pointed out in our pregame show, just about the same defensively. For the Rangers, believe it or not, for all that's been said and written, the Rangers are only 3 points away from where they were last season. As far as goals for, you see they are actually up in their offense this season. It's the defense that's given the Rangers some problems as they're approaching that goal more this season that they've given up compared to last year. That's always of concern when your defense is going in the wrong direction.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they picked up Kevin Lowe. They felt they needed that stay-at-home guy. They've got Leach back there. They wanted to get that one consistent guy they didn't feel they had, and they went out and got him in Kevin Lowe.
I was just thinking, what are they going to do when they put the broadcasters' numbers up for what people get paid? You can't go far enough down the list to pick us up. We'll be right back with the highlights.
Time for the Alka-Seltzer Plus Plus-Minus Award Update. When you got a cold and you gotta get relief, you gotta get Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Mario Lemieux of the Pittsburgh Penguins streaked to the top of the pack. He's simply the best in goals and assists, and now in the plus-minus ratings.
Lee passing Lemieux, blows right by Smoley, cuts into the Sharks in, right in on goal, makes a little backhander. He shoots and scores.
A pair of Penguins leading for the Alka-Seltzer Plus Plus-Minus Award.
The only goal in this game, Graves picked it up at 5:23, an unassisted goal at even strength to give the Rangers the 1-0 lead, and it was a fluke goal.
It was a fluke goal, but watch the hard work by the New York Rangers keeping the puck in the zone. They paid the price, they took hits, they made nice plays, they worked hard, all of them. But a bad break right here. Todd goes to goes to dump it out of the zone. He doesn't do it, and watch the little bounce right here off the foot of Nemchinov. Billington has no chance. A hard-working goal, but it was a lucky one. The Devils are down 1-0.
And although it went off Nemchinov, they credit it to Adam Graves. He certainly deserved it. It was his effort that kept it going. That gave the Rangers the 1-0 lead. Billington some big saves on some tough shots.
And Gary, you're going to see here why goaltenders work on those angles all the time. If Billington does not play the angles perfectly on this shot, with Messier skating so fast and moving so quickly down the boards, if Billington is in a perfect spot, now he's going to come into picture right now. You see him working to stay in the perfect angle. If he hadn't been right there, that's the bottom corner. It's a 2-0 lead for the Rangers, as it was a great save by Billington.
Billington, the fourth best save percentage, second best save percentage, fourth best goals against. Second period coming up.
Hi, I'm Craig Billington. When I'm out on the ice, you won't catch me without my helmet or mask on. But when I'm off the ice, I like to wear baseball caps, like this one here from Carvel Ice Cream. If you'd like to get your baseball cap, just come out to the Meadowlands and watch the Devils play.
Fans, make it out to the Meadowlands Sunday, December 27th, when the Devils battle the Whalers. You can take home this embroidered Cotton Devils baseball cap, compliments of Carvel Ice Cream Bakery. That's Carvel Baseball Cap Night, December 27th. Call 201-935-6050.
GM of the New York Rangers, Neil Smith. Not that guy in front, that's Mike Levine. Get out of the way, Hard! Michael, one of the best in the business, working at the PR office, and Neil, same true for those in the front office. Second period underway, Nemchinov winning the face-off. Dowd stays out there with McLean and Richer in this line for the Devils. Stefan Richer knocks it down to hold it in the zone. Dowd along the boards. Nemchinov stepped in, driver the shot. Van Beesbrook the save. Got some help down low that time from Hardy. John McLean. McLean's turnaround shot. Van Beesbrook! He got a piece of it. Dowd going through, tried to tip it back on him. James Patrick steps up, and we start with the flurry here in this second period. Devils hold it in. Dowd again. Dowd, the turnaround shot, couldn't get it. Picked up by Patrick. Rangers 0 for 2 on the power play. Devils 0 for 3. Burkott brings it in. Graves brings it in, rather. Tied up by Dowd. Comes around to the near side. Stepping up on it, Mike Gartner. Good job by Gartner to hold it in. Got it away to Graves. Graves to Nemchinov. This line again. Over in front. Graves! And he couldn't get the stick through the skates of Jim Dowd, or he would have had his second goal. Rangers lead at 1-0. Linda Graves, your son says you are watching tonight, and he says it is your birthday, so number 9 says to Mom, happy birthday.
Happy 29th, Adam said. Happy 29th birthday, Mom.
So you can give him a big kiss when you see him next time for telling the truth. Face-off will be to the left of Craig Billington. Randy Gillen moves in on the draw. Yanni Ojanen won it. Broughton sent it right off the stick of Billington on the side of the net. Wasn't a shot on goal. McKay in the middle for Lemieux. He gets squeezed off by King and cleared out by Hardy. Kasatonov and Fetisov together for the Devils. Intended for McKay, didn't touch it. They wave it off. Lemieux dumps Wells as he was coming through center ice. Pushed up along the boards to Broughton. Broughton reaching back. McKay stepped in, held it to Lemieux. Lemieux with King on him. Lemieux wants a wraparound here. Yanni Ojanen joins him, tried to get it to him, but Wells is there. Wells, the dangerous pass through the middle. Tipped out to center by Broughton. Played back to Fetisov. Shots 14-8 in favor of the Devils, but the Rangers have the 1-0 lead. The Rangers won the game played here 4-2, lost at the Garden 6-1. Lemieux sends it in wide. Again, Wells going back to get it. The Devils are completing a line change here. They'll be flipped out of the zone. Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer dumps it. Rangers changing. And Hurlburt goes back to get it.
Gary, behind the play, every time Paul Broughton is on the ice, he goes after Fetisov. And they have just been sticking each other
Stevens. That was a pass in front. He had Bobby Holik cutting, and Stevens was trying to feather that in and got it in on the stick. Holik tipped it up in the air. He had a Ranger right on him. Cleared out of the zone by Graves. Holik and Messier share gloves. That will be broken up right there. Rangers leading at 1-0. Want to remind you, the Hartford Whalers will be taking on the New Jersey Devils Sunday at 5 o'clock. Note the start time on that game. That is a 5 o'clock game Sunday. Our pregame show will begin at 4:30, live and exclusive here on Sports Channel. Part of your holiday weekend. We hope you'll join us for that on Sunday. Face off to Seamak. Holik dumps it in the corner. Zalapukin. Valerie Zalapukin to Seamak. Seamak, Holik, Zalapukin. A line that Herb Brooks has held together here for a number of weeks now. Niedermayer's got to go back. Niedermayer reversing to Seamak. Zalapukin's got it. Zalapukin in with Holik. Messier's on him. Hurlburt moves in. Holik tied up by Bukaboom. You get just the right people out there, Peter. It sounds like you're doing the Edmonton Oilers game from about 8 years ago, doesn't it?
It sure does, with a couple more trades.
In front, Seamak tried to tip it in. Never got a stick on it. He was blocked out by Bukaboom, one of those former Edmonton Oilers. Seamak, Niedermayer. Niedermayer's shot. That was blocked straight up in the air by Bukaboom. Bobby Holik, good check on Graves. Centering pass taken by Seamak. Lost it. Graves picks it up. Rangers come back 3-on-3. Stevens able to clear it out of the zone before they could get it in. Graves sends it in. The Rangers are offside. It'll be played by Stevens. A delayed offside call here still, but it won't matter. Well, maybe it will. There it does. Rangers touch it up. A long offside call finally gets whistled. Rangers up 1-0. If you want the great taste of Bud Light, you got to make the best call of the night. Ask for Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Here's Troy Millette centering this line with Pellerin and Guerin. This is the Devils' hitting line. Herb Brooks put these guys together with Millette in the middle to go out and run at some people.
Guerin wrapped it around the net, picked up by Driver. Driver up for Pellerin, couldn't handle it, picked up by James Patrick. Patrick sends it in. One of this game's defensive defensemen, James Patrick. Highly respected for the job he does in that role. Behind the net, Danico battling, pulled out from the corner. Alexei Kovalev. We haven't seen Kovalev get unwound here in this game. He is a treat to watch, so long as it's not your team. A goal from the point, screened. Mark Hardy. 2-0 Rangers.
Well, one of the things the New York Rangers that they did not have, even with Leach in the lineup, was a lot of offense from the defensemen. Well, last game, Patrick got a goal, Wells got a goal, and here tonight, Hardy picks up his first goal of the season. So something that wasn't working earlier in the season. The New York Rangers suddenly comes alive, even with their main guy, Leach, out of the lineup.
He has had only one goal in each of the last 2 seasons.
Now watch how Billington will try to find this puck with all the people. There's 2, 3, 4 players right there. Billington knows it's coming. He can feel the presence of the puck, but he can't see it.
So Hardy gives the Rangers a 2-0 lead on one of those goals from out of nowhere. Cleared into the zone off Gartner's stick, though. Rangers get it back. Joey Kocur sends it out. Sent right back in by Dowd. Picked up by Kocur. He's celebrating his 28th birthday today. Joey Kocur is. And that'll be called on the offside. So Hardy's reached his goal output for each of the last 2 years as he gets his first goal of the season at 4:03 of the second from Waite and Kovalev.
Just reading some of the quotes by Mark Hardy, he realizes just how important these games are to his stay at the New York Rangers. The Rangers now have 8 defensemen when Lowe and Leach get back in the lineup, and you may be a situation where they may be packaging one of them with a forward to get a player. And he wants to stay in New York, and he's going to make it real tough for Neil Smith to trade him.
That's what every GM wants. If it's easy, then it's easy. Face off, Nemchinov. GMs don't want easy trades. It'll be sent in by Joey Sorella. Sorella getting into the game tonight after being out for 7 straight. It's only Joey's 18th game, the former Devil. Turcotte trying to turn it in. Dead shot, save, rebound in front. Emchinov can't get the handle on it. Clipped it into the corner. Bounces right back off Kasatonov and up and over the glass. I'd say Kasatonov blocking that one off in the corner as the Rangers are starting to buzz again.
And Gary, this is right now the Rangers are taking over this hockey game. And if there's going to be a next goal in this game, it's going to be very important as we look at the second goal by Hardy right there, because if the Rangers get it, the Devils haven't come from behind all season long, and you're not going to come from 3 back. If the Devils get it, they get a chance to build that momentum and maybe tie this period up. But the next goal, and it looks like it's going to have to be pretty quick because the Rangers are coming at the Devils right now.
15:05 left to go here in this second period. Bruce Driver looking out as the Rangers waiting here. Mark Messier turning to the bench. Joey Kocur is getting a new stick there. That's why they wait. Messier, the outspoken captain. He and Roger Nielsen, much print coverage this season about their dispute about things. Messier doesn't deny the fact he and Roger Nielsen had some disagreement over systems that were being used by Nielsen and whether or not they were appropriate. Messier says, told me the other night in St. Louis, though, we're both here for one reason, that's to win. I got no problem with that. He's the coach, I'm not.
And I really believe right now, watching the Rangers, those little things, people getting hot at the same time, this club is coming together.
Down the middle, Zelepukin squeezed out by Bukaboom again. Bukaboom is an enormous influence out there in more ways than one. I mean, number one size-wise, but he plays as big as he is.
He ended my career, Mr. Bukaboom. When he hit me, I separated my shoulder, never played another game.
Ooh. Centered. Messier's drop pass to Kocur's intercepted. Devils trying to break out in the 3-on-2. Bobby Holik. Holik has Seamak and Zelepukin. Holik running it in. Gets whacked from behind by Joey Kocur. No call on it. Kocur sprayed it up. Stevens gets it. Stevens centered. Tipped. Way back. Bobby Holik is mighty upset. He thought he should have had a slashing call on that play, but there was none. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New Jersey Devils, intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New Jersey Devils and Sportschannel is prohibited.
And of course, was Todd and Stastny out of the lineup. Herb Brooks has to shuffle things up again. You were talking about Seamak's line. Well, they're the only line that's been together consistently all season long. This is actually their 17th game in a row they've been aligned. But the other lines are all brand new tonight for the Devils.
Devils coming into tonight's game 18th in the league offensively with that 3.39 average. While the Rangers come in 9th, 4.18. The Devils are still looking for those combinations. They're going to put up some consistent numbers on the board. Trailing here 2-0. Flipped into the corner. Hardy goes back to get it. Face-off won by Broughton that time against Jani Ojanen, who's taken a lot of them. Centered by Randy Gillen. Danico giving chase with King. Chris King and Danico, two heavyweights, go after each other, and that freed the puck up. Ojanen clears it near side to Lemieux. Lemieux will dump it in. And Beesbrook watches it roll around to the far side corner. Oops. Devils get away with one there. McKay came in with the elbow up. Jani Ojanen to McKay. McKay just grabbed by Hardy. Lemieux. Claude Lemieux trying to back it in front. Did. Turnaround shot. Ojanen shot it behind his back on the backhand, and he did not get it on net. Comes to center to Driver behind the play. Randy McKay got held up. Devils get on side now. Ojanen to Lemieux. Lemieux cross ice, had Richer cutting in. Richer turns, and Beesbrook a save. Rebound bounced over Driver's stick. King at center trying to break. Danico will have to go back to get it. Would have been a two-line pass if the Rangers had handled it. Picked up by Patrick.
Good shift by the Devils, set up by the hitting of Randy McKay.
Dowd puts a pretty good hit at the other end, and that's going to be called on the two-liner offside pass. 13:09 to go here, second period. Rangers up 2-0. Graves in the first, Hardy in the second. Rangers being outshot, though. The Devils outshooting them 15-11.
But the Rangers again, when you're on the road, you play. It seems that you can play so much smarter when you have the lead. At home, you still have that tendency when you're up by 2 to want to make it 3. When you're up by 2 on the road, sometimes you play it smart, wait for the breaks, and you're actually a better club on the road with a lead.
Rangers this season 6-6-3 on the road. The Devils 8-7 at home. Tisov drops it off for Richer. Neither of these teams is tearing it up in the division. Rangers 7-6, Devils 8-8. Richer Turning to the middle. Poke checked away to center by Steve King. Devils get back onside. Dowd's pass. Intercepted again. Rangers again trying to break King. King got taken out of the play by Fetisov. Devils get the touch up. That's going to be an icing call. So the pace slows down a little bit here with more whistles than we had in the first period.
And more whistles means more face-offs, but I have not noticed a dominance by the Rangers on the draws. I think the Devils talked about it, and they're getting good help from the wingers on the draws. When the Devils are, when there's a face-off, the wingers for the Devils are hustling into the middle, so there's a loose puck. They're bouncing it back and winning the face-off.
Full house on hand here at the Meadowlands for this one, as you would expect when these two teams get together. The Devils will have the Rangers at home February 8th and March 7th. Their final two meetings. Next two games against the Rangers. After this one will be at the Garden, including the one coming up this week. Shot Richer. In front, McLean being knocked down, shot it wide. Good chance for the Devils. In the center again. Shot Van Beesbroek out to cover. McLean goes diving over him. Jim Dowd had the initial chance. Van Beesbroek made the saves. They'll be separated quietly there with the Rangers up 2-0.
John Van Beesbroek, who's won his last 4 starts. And here comes McLean from the left side going up and over. John Van Beesbroek, of course, talking to the referee about that one after the whistle.
The helmet went flying all the way back to the boards after he'd gone by. Van Beesbroek stopped 27 in a 4-3 win in St. Louis on Thursday in his last outing. Mike Richter had the tie against Hartford in their last game for the Rangers. Lemieux able to dump it off into the corner. Nemchinov over to get it. Again, Nemchinov trying to clear it out. That had bounced off Lemieux and into the Devils bench, and Lemieux and Nemchinov exchange a little Berlitz.
I asked Claude Lemieux this morning if he had any empty net goals. He reminded me he had 2 empty net goals, but he was saying that he'd never got a chance in Montreal to be out there during those last few minutes. We were talking this morning, and I've never seen a number, but how many points do you think Wayne Gretzky's gotten into the empty net? We were thinking probably 100 when you go back through the years.
Total points or goals?
Total points.
Total points. Could be. Centering pass blocked by Bukaboom on McKay. Randy McKay in the corner. Bukaboom all over him. Randy McKay is not an easy man to take the puck away from. Bukaboom did. Kasatonov shot it in. Yanni Oyanen. Van Beesbroek deflects it. And a penalty coming up in front. It's heated up. Bukaboom being pointed at by Andy Van Helleman as he and McKay continued their play. And Bukaboom is going to go. And the Devils, I believe, are going to get a power play out of this. Only one penalty called. Claude Lemieux is now raising the ire of some of the New York Rangers.
Gary, you saw how tough the Rangers were being in front of their own net, but that means the Devils are going to the front of the net. And when you've got control of the puck and you're going to the front of the net, you're going to draw penalties, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Van Beesbroek apparently got his stick out and tripped Lemieux, and the penalty is going to be on the Rangers goaltender. John Van Beesbroek will be called on the trip. Bukaboom was the one down low shoving. Take a look here.
Van Beesbroek goes right out there. Never mind what I said.
He got him.
Van Beesbroek last year, Game 7, back at Madison Square Garden, going to decide the series. Roger Nielsen went with John Van Beesbroek, came with a big game, an 8-4 victory.
First penalty on Van Beesbroek this season. Devils get a power play now. Big chance for them to cut this to a 1-goal game. Devils down here 2-0. Graves and Hardy have had the goals. 8-12 the time of the tripping on Van Beesbroek. Gartner serving. Zalapukin behind his own net. Devils get the power play opportunity. Could not convert on it in the first period. Down low, shot deflected wide off Semac's stick. Zalapukin picked it up. Devils 0 for 3 in the power play. 4 shots in those 3 chances. Stevens down to Semac. Semac. Holik right into the defenseman's legs and covered up by Van Beesbroek. Graves moves in to hold off Zalapukin along with Messier. And now in the near side corner, Hardy, Semac, and Holik. Joined by a couple of other Rangers as James Patrick quickly skated in.
James Patrick. Now, he's played the most games of any player on any of these two clubs in this rivalry. Played 55 games, 46 points. Always has played well against the Devils, whether it's here at the Meadowlands or at Madison Square Garden. And Gary, Patrick's one of those players I can't understand why. There's always that talk like he can't do something. I can never figure out what it is he can't do.
Well, he doesn't. There's a good combination right there. There's your defensive duo. I think Patrick's just so good at what he does. He makes it look too easy. He's one of those athletes in the what he's supposed to do is play defense. That's what he does. And he does it so well, he goes unnoticed. There's nothing spectacular except when you break it down and actually watch him game in, game out. Then it's unbelievable. He doesn't make mistakes. And the Rangers clear it out. 1:07 left to go on this power play for the Devils, down 2-0. Against the Rangers this season now, Devils are 3 for 18 on the power play, including the 0 for 3 tonight. Stevens brings it up, the Devils captain into the zone. Scotty, the pass, tipped wide. Wells got a stick in as Richer was on the outside of him. Driver able to hold it in. Gillen clipped it away to the near side corner. Stevens whacks at it, bounced it off Joe Cirella. Richer's got it. 40 seconds left on the power play for New Jersey. Wells around. Good play by Driver to hold it in. Driver off to Yanni Ojanen. Ojanen. Stevens. Lemieux off his stick. Cirella. Lemieux picks it up. Good tie-up by Richer on Cirella as he started to wind up to wrap it around. Centering pass blocked by Nemchinov. Ojanen was going to one-time it. Driver, 16 on the power play. Yanni Ojanen in. Ojanen. Richer! I think it hit the outside of the net. Van Beesbroek went down, but I don't think Van Beesbroek made a save. It hit the outside of the net. Richer was trying to top shelf it on the near side. Power play is now over. Gartner is out on the ice. Penalty over. Even strength Driver. Shot was blocked. Driver got it back. Yanni Ojanen blocked again. Wells. Ojanen knocked down by Nemchinov. And the Rangers start out. Gartner just came out of the penalty box. 3-on-2 Rangers. Gartner in. Gartner. Nemchinov. Nemchinov, the return pass from Gillen. He couldn't handle it. And it hits a Ranger coming off the bench for the whistle. And Richer complaining about the cross check at the other end.
He says he got hit by Gillen and he went to move in front. But again, after a lull 4 or 5 minutes ago, this game again picking up with the intensity.
Devils now 0 for 4 on the power play.
That's been the key to tonight's game. The fact that neither power play has been able to take over. The Rangers have ground out their goals at even strength. The Devils, if they wanted to get back in, needed to get one of those power play opportunities and score on it.
Face off in the high slot area. Won by Seamack against Messier. Zelepukin sends it in, then gets cut down by Hurlburt, or at least he tried. Zelepukin ran right on through it. Hurlburt reaches in for the puck. Zelepukin able to kick it back in here. And tied up by Bukaboom from behind for the face-off. 9:15 to go in this second period. 2-0 Rangers.
Valerie Zelepukin, left winger on this line with Seamack and Holik. And remember, Holik is out of position on the right side, even though he's a right-handed shooter. But this line was put together by Herb Brooks, as we said, 17 games ago. And one of the reasons it stayed together, as any line, they play well defensively. They know what they're doing. They seem to feed off each other, both in the offensive zone and in the defensive zone.
Bukaboom. Bukaboom on the far side for Graves. Graves hit by Bobby Holik. Hurlburt able to clear it out. They were trying to break Messier. Fetisov broke that up. Zelepukin into the zone. Devils onside. Bobby Holik took the man down. Seamack's got the puck. Seamack tied up by Graves. Puck free. Picked up by Zelepukin. Zelepukin circling. He's got Seamack down low. He sees him, but he couldn't get it to him. And it deflects over the glass and out of play. Seamack was all alone to the left of Van Beesbroek. Zelepukin saw him, but he just couldn't find a hole to get the puck to him.
Well, this is the kind of line that can get you running around in your zone because they're such good passers, especially when they're out there with Fetisov and Kasatonov, who have played that style and know what to expect. When a player makes a pass to Fetisov that's moving, like Seamack and Zelepukin do, Fetisov knows where they're going to be 2, 4, 6 seconds from now, and he anticipates and sort of throws the puck to areas.
Does it well. Pittsburgh's taking a 5-1 lead now on Quebec there in the second period. Pittsburgh breaking out with it. Yager, McEachran, Murphy, Stevens have goals. Somebody else has added one too. Barrasso's in net for them. at center. Hardy tipped it away. Devils will get it back in their own end. Niedermeyer goes back to get it. Messier moved up. Zelepukin dumps it out to center. Played by Bobby Holig. Blue line shot. Look out. That one went right over everything. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. 8:17 left to go in the second period. Hartford Montreal tied at 1-1 for Hartford. Bellows has scored for Montreal. Timo Solani, the rookie, has picked up his 25th. Winnipeg leading San Jose 1-0. Hall for Ottawa. Kristich for Washington. They are tied at 1-1. Near side, Dowd clipped it away. Played into the Ranger zone, though, as they take it a little deeper. Kovalev found a little room. Shots are 19-11 in favor of the Devils. Billington at the other end leaves it for Stevens. Stevens comes right back to him. Scotty on the near side. Randy McKay. McKay. Dowd. Niedermeyer behind him. Dowd checked by Hardy. McKay goes in with Patrick. Doug Waite digs out the puck. Waite, who had that real hot streak for the Rangers, has cooled off a bit. Still has 8 goals in 30 games. 2 on 1, 1 on 3 here. Shot. Billington moved out, made the save. Steve King had the chance. Rangers ended up with a 3-on-1. Patrick shot it wide of the net. John McLean over to get it. That one came out of nowhere in a hurry as the Devils got caught up ice. John McLean left it, backed in, intended for McLean. Dowd got knocked down as he tried to pass it off, couldn't do anything with it. Through center ice, here comes Waite again. Waite 3-on-3. Waite into the middle, intercepted Richer on the back checking job. Rangers line has had a long shift here. Back to the point, Jani Ojanen deflected wide. Richer behind the net, had it taken away, and it's cleared by McLean to center. Driver comes back to get it over to Ken Danico. Both teams completing line changes here. Danico into the zone to Lemieux. His shot that deflected off Jay Wells, picked up by Chris King. King dropped it in the middle. Rangers back, so were the Devils. Danico on the pass, intercepted off Turcotte. Jani Ojanen again into center with Richer. Blue line blast, didn't go anywhere. Again it was blocked, and again it was Jay Wells.
Jay Wells felt that one as he limps off the ice for the Rangers. But Gary, you're right about that 3-on-1. It happened so fast we didn't even mention what a great save it was by Billington. Scored 2-0. Another goal by the Rangers here would pretty much put it away. The Devils need that next goal. They need somebody to come up with that big play. They're doing a good job, or a better job right now, of getting the puck in the Rangers zone and getting some chances. They need a score.
See the pain he's in.
Here's the pass right here. You see. It hit Billington or
Niedermeyer, I think.
Niedermeyer coming across, but either way, it was a big play for the Devils.
That's how Peter Stastny did the number on his foot in the Tampa game, blocking a shot.
Stastny at least got an assist on it. Bounced out of the zone to Lemieux.
For the empty netter. Peter Stastny out of the game tonight. Richer, the quick shot. Van Beesbrook makes the save right off the faceoff. That's the way the Devils wanted it. Lemieux trying to dig it out. Hurlbert's on his back. Puck's up against the boards. Comes away to Richer. Richer, wrap around, knocked down. Taken away by Hurlbert. Richer looking at Andy Van Hellemond again for the call. Doesn't get one. Picked up by Driver. Up to Richer. Devils back. Richer in. Richer a little room. Richer shot. Save Van Beesbrook. Richer went by the shot, then took it. Lemieux and Broughton. The whistle blew and the net came off the Marsh pegs. Then Lemieux and Broughton went at it.
Gary, Stefan Richer right now is going. He is skating. He's starting to create his own chances.
Rangers 2, Devils nothing. Broughton and Lemieux both go for high sticking. It coming at 14:01. They are still fixing the net.
There's Bookaboo. Now Bookaboo wasn't the one I was talking about who blocked the shot. That was Wells.
I don't know what Bookaboo did. Whatever it did, it was enough to go walk it off on the runway there. Rangers coming back. James Patrick picks it up. Patrick ahead, intended for Messier, cut down by Stevens. Couple of all-stars right there. Stevens pushing it far side. Seamack in. Seamack. Hardy in front of him, won't give him any ground. Good stand-up play by Mark Hardy. Picked up by Graves. Graves scored his 13th in the first. Hardy got his first in the second. The Rangers 2 goals. Graves, Niedermeyer. Good defensive job right there on Graves. Graves still has the stick on the puck as he got knocked down. Rolls all the way to center ice. Joey Sorella sends it back in his own end for Wells. 5:10 to go this second period. I'm sure you hang in with us for our second intermission. Stan will be talking with Gary Bettman, the new commissioner of the National Hockey League, taking over in February. Sorella's shot blocked to Zella Pukin. And officially, I guess it's the first commissioner because it's always been the president. Stevens ahead for Seamack. Seamack, and that's an offside on the Devils. Want to remind you, for your holiday enjoyment, the Boston Celtics will be coming to the Meadowlands to battle the New Jersey Nets. The Nets and Celtics will be on tomorrow night right here on Sportschannel at 7:30. The pregame show, sharp Nets tip-off, starts at 7:15. Live and exclusive on Sportschannel. The Nets and the Celts tomorrow.
Gary, Mike Gartner with 556 goals, tied for 8th place all-time in the history of the National Hockey League, and goals with Johnny Busick. You know, one thing he has never been in his whole career on the official All-Star team at the end of the season.
It's kind of incredible.
It is unbelievable. When you look at the names that he's involved with as far as goal scoring in the history of pro hockey, Howe, Hall, Gretzky, Dion, Esposito, Mohalic, I guarantee you,
all of them.
There's got to be 100 All-Star teams in that group, and Gartner doesn't have one.
That is pretty amazing.
He was always in those years where Bossy and Curry were scoring just a few more goals.
He just kept piling them up. Nemchinov hit by Kasatonov. Behind the net, Patrick back to get it. Patrick backing it up. Devils trying to put heat on here. Guerin down low. Nemchinov's got it. This is the line that's created the greatest problems for the Devils. Brought in by Patrick. Patrick dropped it. Shot partially fanned on wide by Gartner. Nemchinov trying to get it back to Gartner. Tied up by Fetisov and Kasatonov. Lost it to Gartner. Gartner wanted a wraparound. Kasatonov blocked it. Nemchinov's got it. Nemchinov. They start that circle to the middle. Nemchinov. Fetisov staying right with him. Kasatonov picks it up and clears it out. Devils have Lemieux breaking. Billy Guerin brings it up. Guerin down the middle, drops it. Pellerin shooting side, blocked by Patrick into the seats.
The game has lost a little flow. Neither club right now able to get things generated. They get the puck into the zone for a second, but it's being pushed out quickly. Here, that's the kind of thing you would expect with the defenses these two clubs have. I don't think there's two more experienced defenses in the entire National Hockey League. Hurlburt is the youngest of all the Ranger defensemen. He's 26. Wells 33, Bukavu 27, Hardy 33, Patrick 29, Joey Sorella's 29. These are guys that aren't going to make mistakes. On the other side, the Devils, the same situation. Scotty Niedermeyer, the youngest of all, but then Fetisov 34, Kasatonov 33. Not just old, but years of experience.
Tough play. Driver lost it. Randy Gillen in. Gillen down the middle. Shot save made by Billington. Randy Gillen ended up in a one on the goaltender. Wells able to hold it in. Gillen knocks it away. Gillen sends it around to the near side. Great chance for Gillen. His centering pass clipped away by Danico, not out. Broughton shot it wide. King. His centering pass tipped away Billington. Gillen again to Broughton. This line putting some heat on this shift. Back to King. King, Driver on him. Poked away by Driver. Ooh, Driver's going to pick the check from behind. He was short of hitting the boards, though, fortunately for Chris King. He got checked from behind, went headfirst towards the boards, but was far enough away so he did not end up going in headfirst. Cross check on Driver.
What would be considered the Rangers' quote fourth line does a great job right here of keeping the puck in the zone. The Driver's going to say he just moved them. But again, when you go in like that into the boards, the referee's going to make that call.
Especially when it's from behind. So Driver picking up the penalty, and the New York Rangers with a 2-0 lead and only 3:07 left to go in the second now have a big moment in this game to up that lead on a power play.
Gary, you know I'm big on these key moment things, but in this game, 2-0, Devils penalty killing has to do it again.
Neither team has been able to convert a power play chance. Rangers have had only one shot on their two chances. Mark Messier on the face-off won it. Turcotte. Gardner's in front. Gardner tipped that one wide on the point shot by Turcotte. Banged up in the air by Kovalev, and the faceoff will be out at center as it went off Kovalev.
Kovalev was sent down to the minors by the New York Rangers, but he went down to the minors in 6 games in Binghamton. He had 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points. He said, yep, he learned his lesson.
It's called out of your league, the other way around.
Yeah. And then he came back in the last 7 games. There was talk earlier in the season, wasn't playing well defensively. 7 games, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points, but more importantly, +5 in those 7 games.
Kovalev played for 3 seasons with Dynamo Moscow. Wrong capital. Stevens behind the net, clipped it away. The Devils get it back. It comes to center, Pellerin, and he'll send it in. Rangers on the power play here. Amazing thing for many of these former Soviet players is, remember, they did not play many games. They spent most of their life practicing. 26 to 30 games a year. Oh, look at the hop. Right through the crease. Billington had gone back behind the net. Stevens has it. Devils shorthanded. Pellerin in the zone. Takes the shot off the blocker. The Rangers have 1:05 left on the power play. 2:10 left to go here in the second period. Dynamo, Washington. I like that. Casatano clears it out. John Van Beesbroek plays it behind his own net. Both teams change up the units here. Devils have done a good job killing off the penalties, as have the Rangers. Against the Devils this season, the New York Rangers, 3 power play goals and 17 chances. Gardner brings it in. Gardner tied up Randy McKay. Devils have a 2-on-1 chance for Fetisov and McKay. Turcotte in the middle. Fetisov tipped it wide. McKay centered. Gardner knocked it down. Back in front, McKay. Devils still short-handed. McKay's pass to McLean. Gardner able to clear it out. Kovalev. Kovalev looking. Kovalev the move. The deke. The shot. Blocked. Gardner tried to run it in. Blocked by Fetisov, who did not have a stick. Still doesn't. Rangers, though, can't hold it in the zone. Fetisov's able to go back and find the stick along the boards. That'll do it. So neither team still is converted on a power play chance. Driver just out of the box. Poked away from Richer by Sorella. Taken away by Kovalev off Driver's stick. Broughton's got it, coming with Gillen. Broughton, and a whistle and an offside call on the Rangers.
Well, again, just a good hard work by the Devils penalty killing. Didn't allow the Rangers, with Leach out of the lineup, to set up anything. That's the main key on the Devils tonight as far as their killing penalties. There's been no possible chance the Rangers setting things up, calming down in the offensive zone.
Randy Gillen, kind of a surprise starter. He'd been out a couple of games before getting back into this one.
Well, I think with Amani out of the lineup, they went with the Roger Nielsen likes to have a defensive center who can win draws, and that's the description of Randy Gillen.
And he just did it. Won the faceoff against Jani Ojanen. Billington holds on to it for Stevens. Final minute of the second period. Picked up by Richer. Crisscrossing with Lemieux. Stephane Richer. Gillen got a piece of him. Ojanen spun around. Gloved ahead by Broughton. Lemieux, the shot. Van Beesbroek, a save. Rebound. Clipped wide in front by Broughton. Centering pass. Ojanen was tied up. Could not get a shot off. Big chance for the Devils right there. Still a chance. 25 seconds. Plenty of time here. Wrapped around by Wells. Gillen. Broughton in the middle. Broughton drops it off. King. Chris King takes the shot right into Niedermeyer. Picked up again by Richer. That's the time remaining in the period. Richer up. Got tripped up, and the Devils are offside. Broughton reached back, lost his stick in Richer's skates, and he went diving. A Bobby Orr move there.
It went right into the blade of Richer.
Richer wanting to know where the call is here.
Now watch the Broughton stick get caught right in the blade. A little opening.
What are the chances, right?
Again, Gary Richer right now. He, of all the Devil players in the second period, along with Randy McKay hitting, but as far as skating and trying to get open, Stephane Richer's had a strong period.
6.4 remaining in this second period. There was no penalty called on that. Niedermeyer sending it in. Hardy fell down. Poked to center by Nemchinov, and that's going to do it. Nemchinov and Holik exchange blows. They will separate.
Well, Gary, for the Devils, it's that time, 0-12-1 when they're trailing after the second period, and you want to talk about a period that could have an impact on the rest of the season. It's the third period if they could come back in this game.
Still looking for offense, the New Jersey Devils, as Herb Brooks heads out with the Devs down here. 2-0 at the end of 2. Shots on goal. Again, the Devils had the advantage in over 2, 23-15, but on the board, Rangers 2, Devils nothing. Stan Fischler will be back with the new commissioner of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman, when we return.
Sportschannel and Budweiser ask you to take your best shot at winning a free New Jersey Devils t-shirt and a chance to break away on the Devils Weekend Road Trip Sweepstakes to see the Devils play the Maple Leafs in Toronto. All you have to do is send in a postcard and guess the number of goals the Devils will score on the road in January. Include your name, address, age, and date-time phone number. Correct entries will win a t-shirt and be entered into the drawing to win a road trip weekend for 2 to Toronto on Saturday, April 3rd, 1993.
It's 2-0 Rangers over the New Jersey Devils, and we're very delighted to introduce the commissioner of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman. We had him visit us on Long Island, and we talked generalities then, but now we're going to get into specifics. At the end of the period, we saw an episode where Stefan Richer was tripped. The stick was in his skate. Now, this happens a lot. There's been a lot of criticism of NHL refereeing. What do you think can be done about it?
Well, refereeing is tough in any sport, and I don't think you can be too critical of the referees. They have a hard job to do. In the NBA, for example, we have 3 officials on the court, and all 3 get to make calls. And I think one of the things we need to look at is whether or not there's more that the other 2, the linesmen, can be doing out on the ice to assist the referee.
Well, let's take it to the next point. Can we have 3 referees in hockey like you do in the NBA?
That's something that I want to explore. It sounds like an interesting possibility. There may be reasons that we can't, and I want to talk to the hockey people and see what the view is.
Now, you want to make this a more entertaining game. Marcel Aubout of Quebec has proposed having a shootout to end ties in the regular season. He told you that at lunch. How about that? What's your gut feeling on that?
It sounds like an interesting and exciting idea. There may be a good reason not to do it. I haven't heard it yet, but I'd like to explore it, because if that's a way to get fans more excited, we should talk about it.
Criticism of the game has been registered about the playoff system, that there should be a more equitable system. Last year, the Islanders had a very good record compared to teams that made it. They didn't make it. Can we see a change more like the NBA?
Well, there are those who say that having the more narrow playoff format has better games in the earlier rounds, but it keeps the better team from making it to the finals. I think that we should talk about it. The 1-8 more open format may keep more interest in the playoffs throughout, and if that's the case, it may be a good idea.
Pre-game, we talked about having a lottery for the draft the way the NBA does. Does it work for the NBA, and should we adopt that?
Boy, these are all, we did it in the NBA, maybe we should do it here. Just because we did it in the NBA doesn't mean it works here, and that's what we need to talk about. I don't start the job till February 1st, so I'm not going to be presumptuous enough to say just because we did it in the NBA, we should do it in the NHL. These are all interesting ideas. They worked in the NBA because we talked about them, we thought about them, and we decided they were good decisions. I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I want to talk to the knowledgeable people, all the constituent groups, and come up with a consensus as to what makes sense. These may all be terrific ideas for the NHL, and over time we'll see.
Gary Bettman, what is your gut feeling about what to do about fighting?
Well, there's a broad spectrum of opinion on that, no question about it. Maybe a little bit of fighting's okay. Maybe no fighting would be even better. We're going to look at that also.
Good to have you. Gary Bettman, the new commissioner of the National Hockey League. We'll have more right after this.
And that's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz. Gary Thorne, Peter McNab back here with you. And in that Pittsburgh game, Mario Lemieux has picked up 4 assists already.
And I have my middle magic number for assists in a season that mean you're a great playmaker. It's been 60. Pretty consistent number. That was Mario Lemieux's 56, 57, 58, 59, probably 57, whatever. He got 60 now.
And he hasn't even hit the 35-game mark yet. Speaking of scoring, we've talked so much about the Devils' problem putting it in the net. It shows up again tonight. And Peter, some numbers you've got, which are really kind of unbelievable.
Well, you know, statistics can be used and abused, and you can find one that fits exactly what you want. You feel like you're a real genius for figuring out, but this is just a number that I think reflects the Devils need some more scoring. Now, the Devils' top scorer is Claude Lemieux. As you look at these numbers, Claude Lemieux is 34 points. He ranks 54th in the National Hockey League. Stéphane Richer is the Devils' second leading scorer. Gary, look at that number. 132nd in the National Hockey League. And if you go back to the fact that no club since 1970 has won a Stanley Cup without having a player in the top 10, that's a pretty difficult number for the Devils to look at and really believe that they got a legitimate chance. And yet, you get a guy like Richer that any team would take for his offensive talent. So something right now, I don't know what it is, but the Devils just aren't able to find any offensive consistency at all.
And I think worth noting again, Peter, we've mentioned this before, and you've made the point a number of times. Stanley Cups are won on offense, not defense. No matter what coaches say, the numbers do not support those people who say you win on defense in the National Hockey League. Ultimately, you got to have it. You got to have a balance. But in the end, if you score, you win.
Well, what happens in my mind in the playoffs is that everybody plays harder defensively. So you have to be more creative offensively to score goals. And when you go back over the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Edmonton Oilers, the Montreal Canadiens, the New York Islanders, what was the one thing you said about them? They had great star players that could score a lot of goals.
And that's the way it's been with the Winners, so the Devils still looking to try and come up with some more scoring punch. Highlights when we come back. Rangers up 2-0. Graves scored in the first period at 5:23. In the second period, it was Mark Hardy's first of the year, coming at 4:03. Waite and Korolev had the assist. 2-0 Rangers, and that's all that's up on the board.
This is a tough one for Craig Billington. He just can't see the puck. Now, again, the goaltender knows that puck's coming, and you try to get out, you try to get low, you try and find it. So just when this is a great angle right here. Now, watch Billington react like as if he knows that puck's coming, but you just can't see it. You got 4 players right there in front of him. When he finally got a chance, it was too late. And Hardy gets his first goal this season.
Hardy's last goal was December 2nd against Philadelphia last season. The only goal he had last year was a game winner. That's his first of this year. Whether it's going to be a game winner or not remains to be seen. Right now, the Rangers have a 2-0 lead at the end of 2 periods here at the Meadowlands.
Fans, now is the time to make your plans for the Devils Tip-A-Devils charity dinner at the Brownstone House in Paterson, New Jersey on Monday, January 18th. All Devil players will be on hand to personally serve you, sign autographs, and mingle with the fans. Fabulous prize will be raffled off throughout the evening, which promises it to be a night to remember. To order tickets, send a check in the amount of $40 per person to Tip-A-Devil Dinner, care of the Brownstone House, 351 West Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey, 071510. Be sure to include your name, address, number of guests, and a daytime phone. All proceeds will benefit the Children's Wish Foundation and the Gift of Life. For further information, call the Devils at 201-935-6050.
Want to remind you, the New York Islanders will be taking on the Montreal Canadiens Wednesday night at 7:30, live and exclusive right here on Sports Channel from the Forum in Montreal. The Islanders and the Canadiens, 7:30, Wednesday night. Montreal on top in that Adams division still. They've won their last 2, 46 points for them. Pittsburgh with 49 points, leading the league in that department, and they are leading Quebec tonight by a score of 7-1. Slapshot, the mascot of the New Jersey Devils. Entertaining some of the youngsters over there. And the not-so youngsters. Well, the Devils, as Peter said, have not been able to come from behind this season in the third period to pick up that win. The New York Rangers played it more defensively than the second period. Let's see if they stay in that mode here as we go into the third. Rangers this season in the third period have lost a game with a lead. They are 8-1 when they've been behind. When they are ahead, they're 8-3-1. So they've had 3 that they've lost. That's a lot for this point in the season to lose in the third period.
Yeah, that was that early part of the season when things just didn't seem to be in sync for the Rangers, and that's just a little sign that, you know, they needed to do something. And that's where Kevin Lowe comes in.
Lowe not playing tonight, getting the night off, comes to center. We are underway here in the third period. Zalapukin had it poke checked away. Gets it back from Niedermeyer, tied up by Graves, spun around. Bobby Holik. Holik centers Niedermeyer just wide. Stevens moving in on Messier. Stevens still has it. Stevens centering pass comes to Graves. Graves trying to flip it out, can't. Couldn't get it by Bobby Holik. Zalapukin. Hardy on him. Holik's got it. Holik the move, good move on Graves. Picked up by Patrick, centered into the middle. And Graves came away with it again. Stripped of it by Zalapukin. Seamack had it, lost it. Messier drives it out of the zone. Stevens back over to Niedermeyer. Rangers change up. Niedermeyer in. Seamack missed it wide. Joey Sorella may have got a piece of that rebound. Shot wide again by Zalapukin. Good chance for the Devils. Niedermeyer. Nobody touched it. Centering. Shot. Zalapukin wide of the net. Stevens holds it in. Zalapukin. Long shift for the Devils. Long shift for the Rangers. Comes to center ice. Kasatonov just getting out on the ice. Rangers trying to get a couple people, a couple of fresh legs out. Devils are changing too. Holik stays on. Holik shot. Save made by Van Beesbrook. He'll cover, and he hasn't got a whistle yet. Now we'll get one.
Well, Gary, a terrific first shift by the Devils. Some good offensive flow by the forwards, moving the puck into the zone. Some good hard work down low. The defenseman got involved. Herb Brooks obviously just told him we have to go out and get some offense right off the bat.
Devils, of course, picked up the shutout against Tampa Bay, 2-0. Now trailing in this game, 2-0.
But Gary, it should be mentioned in that game against Tampa Bay, the game-winning goal by Stevens was tipped in by a Tampa Bay player, and the Devils had an empty net goal.
Yep. Not what you would call a high-flying offense. Fetisov, they say he could have played it. They'll wave off the icing. Slava going with Gartner behind the net. Turcotte stepped up, held it in momentarily. Kasatonov off to Richer. Richer, Yanni Oyanen, and Lemieux. Richer off the heel of the stick. Tipped away, Oyanen. Yanni Oyanen looking in front of the net. Didn't have anybody there. Circles with it. Kasatonov joining the play. Back up Fetisov. His shot blocked by Gartner into the corner. Played around the boards. Kasatonov able to hold it in by Turcotte. And finally played by Wells. Devils unable to hold it in the zone. Off the boards, Gartner. Taken out of the play by Fetisov. Kasatonov turning. Ties the man up. Puck comes to Nemchinov. He wanted to wrap around the other way, but got tied up by Kasatonov. Taken away by Kasatonov off Patrick's stick. Away to Richer. Stefan Richer. Patrick just steps in. Richer was headed to the bench. Patrick alone as the Rangers change. Picked up by Fetisov. Slava behind his own net. Bad pass. Broughton the shot. Blocked by Kasatonov. Devils get away with a mistake.
But just when it looks like the Devils are starting to do it, bad play, which cost them the first goal, trying to get the puck out of their zone. And again, it's the surprise. Kasatonov making a play like that, because we have seen so few over the course of his career with the Devils.
Just underway in this third period. The Devils and Rangers are going to meet twice this week. They will be at Madison Square Garden for the second game. Rangers trying to win one here. Both teams have split, winning on home ice in the prior 2 games this season. Randy Gillen face off against Dowd. Won it to Wells. Wells the shot. That one hit John McLean. Hit him in the knee, and Johnny Mack's not feeling well right now. Mack limping a little bit. He tips it out to center, but that one hurt, and John McLean heads to the bench. Joe Sorella picks it up. Sorella into the corner. Randy Gillen on the rebound. Gillen got it behind the net. Pushed around by Driver. Richer out of the zone. 2-on-2. McKay and Dowd. McKay over to Dowd. Dowd looking. Driver the shot. Van Beesbrook the save. Richer tipped wide. Rebound. Driver over the net. McKay tied up. Great chance for the Devils right there. Held in, Driver. Richer, the turnaround, blocked into the corner. Cirella with McKay on him. Down they go. Rangers want to pin it up. And there's no whistle yet. McKay gets his helmet stripped. Penalty coming up. Delayed call. Puck loose with a helmet. Rolls in. Van Beesbroek covers. And there's the whistle. And now Ken Danico, after the whistle, got into it with Chris King.
Again, the Devils, another good shift down low, deep in the Ranger zone.
There was already a Ranger penalty prior to the fisticuffs with King and Danico.
Oh, they're going to be tired when this one is over. That's just muscle on muscle for the two of them.
Right now, both of them were wishing a linesman would move in on each. Rangers leading 2-0.
Johnny McLean, Devils assistant captain, blocked that shot from the point. Looked like it hit him right in the ankle. Those are the one your foot almost goes numb for a while. You just got to, you know, you try and push off. You're not sure if your skate's on the ice or not.
At least while that was going on, he had a chance to walk it off. We'll get fighting on King and Danico, 5 each. Broughton, though, picked up the penalty prior to the start of the fisticuffs. Broughton for holding at 3:26 will give the Devils the power play. They're 0 for 4 in the power play with 4 shots, and again their chance to make this a 1-goal game.
Gary, 3 shifts in a row. 3 consecutive shifts for the Devils. They did a good job of forcing the Rangers to run around and getting some good opportunities.
Devils now 4 for their last 36 in the power play. Driver back to the point. Messier almost got it. Graves does. Graves drops it off for Messier. Mark Messier, 2 shorthanded goals this season for the Rangers. Richer wide. Comes all the way to the point. Driver holds it in. Down low. Yanni Ojanen blocked up in the air. Patrick went down to block that, and it's driven out of the zone by Graves.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the Ranger people before the game. Their defensemen slide on those cross-ice passes more than any group in the National Hockey League. Bookavoon, Patrick, Hardy, Wells, they all use that play to cut down the pass.
Ojanen goes Cirella out of the zone. If you can do that, Peter, it allows you to keep your balance so that you come back up. You don't end up sliding all the way out of the play and across the ice.
Yeah, and that's usually why coaches don't like to see it, because if this guy gives you a little fake, you're gone for 10 or 15 seconds.
Ojanen brings it in back to Stevens. Devils on a power play, down 2-0. Driver in the middle. Lemieux shot. Then Beesbroek got a piece of that with a stick. Driver. Wells tying it up, and Wells clears it out. Lemieux comes back to get it. Devils are 3 for 19 now against the Rangers this season on the advantage. And Joey Cirella goes back, and that's an icing in the Devils. Face-off in the Devils' end.
Just a little fatigue there at the end. That power play group had been on the ice for 1 minute and 20 seconds. One of those passes where you think a guy's in full flight, he's just lost a step, and all of a sudden the face-off's in the Devil zone.
38 seconds left on the power play for the Devils. 15-12 left to go in this third period. Always a little extra for Herb Brooks. Hey, there's Santa. A little respite there before the long trip coming up.
Both these teams just have that one last game at Madison Square Garden before Christmas, which I'm sure you've done all your shopping for, Mr. Thorne.
About done. Get the list done tomorrow.
According to my family, I'm about a quarter done. This is the list I've got.
Never ends. Bobby Holik. Holik setting it up. 20 on the power play for the Devils. Seamack back to Holik. Seamack, Holik. Seamack. Can't do anything there. Stay there all night. Back up to Niedermeyer. His shot. Van Beesbroek to save on Holik in front. Patrick around. Niedermeyer held it in. Graves has got it. Messier was trying to break. Holik held it in. Messier 2-on-1. Penalty is over. Broughton winning. Messier scores!
And Gary, just the fact that Broughton was there turned this from a one-on-one where the defenseman plays Messier, doesn't allow him to have the shot. It forces the defenseman over into the middle and lets Messier shoot. And he's one of the best offside shooters in the National Hockey League. Now watch Broughton come into the box, the bottom part of your screen. Now you see the defenseman can't go across. And then you tap it off the shot like that.
3-0 Rangers. Guerin misses it wide. Messier gets his 17th goal of the year. He's had 3 against the Devils this season. And a huge goal right there in this third period. Kasatonov picks it up. Kasatonov off for Troy Millette. Millette. Van Beesbrook save. Rebound. Van Beesbrook save made on Pellerin. Shot on the rebound. Scott Pellerin trying to get the answering goal, almost, but Van Beesbrook, a couple of big saves after that Messier goal. Messier's 17th, the assist went to Graves at 5:33 of this third period. Kovalev, King. King drops it off for Patrick in his own end, intercepted by Driver. Patrick gets it back. Patrick ahead for King, intercepted by McLean. McLean off from McKay, tipped away by Turcotte. Stevens down the middle, back Niedermeyer, tipped wide by McKay. Rebound McKay trying to wrap around, left it behind the net. Jim Dowd brings it out, couldn't regain control. Nemchinov poked it away. Stevens taking the big hook the other end by Kovalev, and a penalty coming up here. Bounced out the center. And it's going to be Niedermeyer who's going to go to the box.
Gary, one of the reasons why I like Scott Niedermeyer, watch this play. Now, he takes a penalty, but watch what happens. You hit my buddy Stevens, I'm going to hit you. Good, hard check, gets the penalty, but again, he's got a mean streak.
Rangers have the power play. Niedermeyer high sticking at 6:58. Taken away by McLean in front and cleared at the length of the ice. Rangers have not been able to convert any of the power play chances they've had here tonight. 0 for 3 on the power play. They've got the 3-0 lead though. Turcotte sends it in. Wade on the near side pinned it up for Steve King, who was able to free it up. Trying to go to the point, was deflected to Gartner. Gartner off to Patrick on the far side. Or Turcotte on the far side. Turcotte out on the power play with Hurlburt now. In front is Gartner. Turcotte faking it. Shot on. Ooh, right over the head of Billington. I mean, that baby was whipped by Waite. Gartner. Kasatonov moves in. It was an accident. Okay. Hurlburt shot tipped again by Gartner. Wade on the far side. McKay on him. Stevens cleared it out. Devils want to change penalty killers here. Lane got knocked down, gets back up, brought back in by Gartner. Gartner's pass blocked by Seamack. Sends it behind the net for Messier. Messier trying to get it up to the point, blocked back to Waite. Waite around the boards. Gartner back to Waite. Messier in front of the net, tried to get it to him. Kasatonov blocked the pass. Stevens got tied up by Gartner. Turcotte will step up. 24 of the power play. Back to Turcotte. Turcotte moved it in front. Messier tried to kick it, couldn't, and Stevens clears.
Messier tried to kick past that across to Gardner.
James Patrick moving in. Patrick. We've got 7 seconds left on the power play, and it comes back to center. Hardy back to get it. So the Devils penalty killers have done the job. Niedermeyer's back out on the ice. Driver starts up. Rangers leading 3-0. 10:58 to go, third period. Driver centered, rolled in, kicked away Van Beesbrook. He just reached into the pile as Pellerin was busting in towards the net. Back again, Messier. Messier waiting for help, looking to the middle, dropped it. Patrick, shot blocked by Fetisov. Slava picks up the rebound, gets it out. Jani Ojanen, and Ojanen sends it in. Van Beesbrook knocks it away. Van Beesbrook has made some tough saves in this game, 27 of them, as the Devils are out shooting the Rangers 27-17. Niedermeyer in his own end. Devils have had their chances, especially right after that Messier goal. They had 2 good chances. Lemieux hit from behind by Joey Koser. That held the puck in at the point. Down goes Kovalev. Lemieux picks it up. Devils back. Brought in. Lemieux. The shot. Van Beesbroek makes the save. Looking to see, that was Niedermeyer at the other end who put that good hit on Kovalev.
Van Beesbroek's made 28 saves now. That last one on Claude Lemieux. But a lot of them were just like that last shot by Claude Lemieux from the outside. The best part of the Rangers game defensively tonight has been keeping the Devils shot from a long ways out and also letting Van Beesbroek see them.
Washington has now taken a lead on Ottawa 4-3 in their game. Pittsburgh leading Quebec 7-2 in games that will affect the Patrick division before the night is over. Rangers are tied with Washington with 38 points behind Pittsburgh's 49. Devils have 33, 1 point ahead of the New York Islanders. Philadelphia in last place in the division with 26.
The Islanders have played 3 more games to the New Jersey Devils, but again, they have crawled back, even with Ferraro out of the lineup, within 1 point.
Pittsburgh and Washington, as far as games played, lead the division with 36 each. The Devils the fewest, this being their 32nd. Face-off back to Hardy. Hardy around and out of the zone. Niedermeyer tried to hold it in. King was there to tip it away, though. 9:57 left here in the third. King's pass right back to him. Rangers clear the zone, can't control the puck. Stevens got it away. Patrick intercepts, sends it into the corner. Niedermeyer. Broughton forcing him to take it behind the net to Stevens. Back to Niedermeyer. His pass intercepted momentarily by King. Comes back to center. Patrick off the boards. McLean tied up at center by Broughton. Rangers now, with halfway through this third period and having added that third goal, they're not going to stop playing offense. Shot wide. Penalty coming up as Dowd took the shot. Delayed call. It'll be on the Rangers. This is what the Devils needed. Rolled in on Van Beesbroek by McKay. Nobody wanting to draw the extra penalty here. When we come back, the Devils will have the power play.
Ball game right here, Gary, for the New Jersey Devils. They don't score here. She's over. 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go. It'll be down within 7 minutes of this game. The Devils need a power play goal.
Mark Hardy sits and watches as Lemieux takes the shot, deflected right back to him by Joey Sorella. Power play tonight ineffective for the Devils. 0 for 5. Driver saves Van Beesbroek. Outstanding save with the right leg. He was moving the other way, reached back and made the save with that right leg, just reaching out. Stevens to Driver. Wide. Richer centered. Driver moves in. Driver. Stevens. Driver. Hook check by Graves. Graves has been outstanding on the penalty killing unit. Bangs at it again and gets it by Driver.
Not only that, he has a goal and an assist in this game. He has the first goal of the game. And he's been the Rangers' best player here tonight.
Richer's got it. Devils trying to get on the board here. Lemieux. Rangers lead 3-0. Claude Lemieux. Richer trying to get it to Yanni Oyen, and shot by Driver blocked. Cleared out by Messier. He blocked it and cleared it. Devils 5 shots on the previous 5 power play chances. Lemieux couldn't control it. Driver, good job to hold it in. Back to Lemieux. Claude Lemieux along the boards. Reaching for it. Here's Turcotte, had it momentarily. Ojanen's pass to Lemieux. Can't back it in. Driver. Lemieux. Stevens. Driver. Shot deflected by Ojanen over the net. 22 left on the power play. Taken away by Patrick. And Broughton trying to clear once. Twice.
Again, the Devils passing the puck crisply, moving it around, but the Rangers just seemingly right there to cut down any second or third chances.
One last rush here. Bobby Holik. Got to go back. Penalty's over. Devils 0 for 6 on the power play. Sent into Holik by Seamack. Holik back. McLean knocked down. Gillen clears it out. No, held in. Kasatonov. Holik. Holik backhander. Blocked. And Joe Sorella, who blocked it, will clear. This will be an icing call. But the Rangers kill off another big penalty here. And with 6:55 left to go. Maintain that 3-0 lead. Shots are 29-17 in favor of the Devils. About the score.
Herb Brooks knows his club is not the point in this game that his club stops, because they do have their next game against the New York Rangers. And if you're trying to set something up, get yourself back in the game, whatever, you have to keep going for the last part of this game.
Face-off will be won through center ice. Rangers now will be very defensive-minded. Kasatonov, Nemchinov holding it in. Nemchinov trying to draw it back onto the forehand, is skipped away from him. Zelepukin chasing it down. Rangers just 3 goals. Graves, Hardy, Messier, 1 in each period. Messier is the last one. No icing on this. Kasatonov will have to play it. 6:27 remaining. Third even strength now. Holik out there with Seamak and Zelepukin. Kasatonov and Fetisov. Bobby Holik jumped over his stick. Patrick cleared it out. Nemchinov to Gartner. Gartner, as usual, has had his chances. You know why he's a goal scorer if you watch him play many games. I mean, he always has great chances. He gets himself open.
With that speed, it's unbelievable.
Zelepukin wide on the backhand shot. Seamak kicked it in. Bobby Holik had it, lost it to Gartner. Zelepukin moves over. Attempted clear, couldn't get it out. Joey Koser. Bobby Holik. His centering pass partially blocked. Shot wide by Seamak. Holik moves in. Holik shot deflected wide of the net by Zelepukin. Cleared around by Wells. And Kasatonov will have to pick it up at center. On the near side, Holik. 5:35 to go. And the Devils are offside. 3-0 Rangers.
Now it's time for MCS Cannon Teamwork Moment, brought to you by that team of Cannon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other. Penalty killing, a big part of tonight's game, and you need teamwork. You need the guys working, rotating, moving down. Now you'll see just the one shot on Van Beesbroek, a great save, but the puck is cleared out. Great teamwork, MCS Teamwork Cannon Moment.
Off the face-off, Devils coming out of their own zone. Played ahead by Lemieux. Blocked by Joe Cirella. Ojanen has it. Ojanen sends it in. Wells back to get it. Cirella and Lemieux exchange a couple of shots with the sticks. Cirella moves in again. Tips it by Lemieux to Graves. Graves onside. Puck spins away. Ojanen's got it. Ojanen looking for Lemieux near side. Lemieux winds up, takes it. Van Beesbroek went through him and wide. He saw it coming, just did not handle it cleanly, but it went wide, even though it went through. Lemieux tied up by Messier. The hitting's getting a little high with the sticks right now. 4:35 left to go, and the Rangers up 3-0. Niedermeyer. Both teams change. Stevens. Patrick in the zone. Pushes it by McKay. Lane just coming out on the ice. Back to McKay. Hardy moves in on him. McKay, good strength. Hardy takes him down. Penalty coming up. Devils will get another power play coming here. There's the whistle. Hardy will be called for it, and the Devils will get yet another chance on the advantage.
Randy McKay is so good at that play, where he puts the puck on the stick in the right hand and puts the left hand out. So he just has one hand on his stick with the puck and sort of pushes the man away and almost balances himself on one leg and spins around the defenseman. The defensemen don't seem to know how to pull him down. Watch the play by McKay right here. See how he's holding off the defenseman and he spins himself on that one right leg? He's got great balance. He almost uses the pressure the defenseman puts on him to push against him to help him spin around.
That's how strong he is on his skates. Devils almost got one right here.
I think that puck was just tipped a little bit, which threw Van Beesbroek off. That's the second time tonight Van Beesbroek's had a puck go through him, but just slip out beside the post.
Van Beesbroek has had the only Ranger shutout this season. 6-0 against Toronto. That's the only shutout they've had. He's going after one here tonight.
And that started his personal 4-game winning streak. This will be 5 games if he won it here tonight.
Devils back on the power play. 0 for 6 with 7 power play shots. Fetisov Spins it back to Zelapuka. Up to Fetisov. Driver. Fetisov wide side. Shot. Van Beesbroek makes the save on it. Good quick shot by Seamack. And Beesbroek knocked it away.
Very much like Billington the other night in Tampa Bay. It looks like Van Beesbroek seeing everything, comfortable.
Even the mistakes, don't go in. John McLean shot, tipped Seamack high. The defenseman got a stick on that as well. That was Hurlbert who tipped that wide. McLean, and it's 17 left on the power play. 3:28 to go in the game. Seamack, Driver, Fetisov. That's where they want it, right there to Seamack in that left wing circle. The offside, they try and go back in a hurry. Fetisov. Centering pass, McLean, turnaround, block, Van Beesbroek a save. Driver, puck spinning on him, takes the shot, blocked out deep by Patrick, and cleared by Nemchinov. 47 seconds left on this Devils power play. Fetisov back. Rangers up 3-0, a goal each period. Richer overskated, Turcotte. Fetisov to Stevens. Got his shot wide. Wells rams it out of the zone. Devils have doubled the shots against the Rangers. 34-17. Niedermeyer in with Lemieux. Lemieux trying to drop it back for Richer. Broughton reached in, poked it away.
And another strong play by the Rangers on the penalty killing. They've done an excellent job of not allowing those passes through the middle.
Rangers improving their numbers shorthanded. Messier ragging it in his own end here. Clears it out, and that'll do it. So the Devils are 0 for 7 on the power play now. The Rangers maintain that 3-0 lead. Down to just 2:11 left to go here in the third period. Patrick right back in. The Jersey Devils now trying to avoid the shutout as well as put something on the board to get them going for the second game this week against the Rangers. Billington fourth with a .276 goals against and that .911 percentage save, second best in the league. Tonight, just again, Herb Brooks' team unable to find someone to put it in the net.
You look for positives for the Devils, the fact that the Rangers didn't mount a lot of offense. The Rangers took advantage of the few chances they had. They've only had 17 shots on net. But the Devils didn't allow the Rangers to get the puck down low, and with us, other than Graves' goal in the first period, really get a lot of pressure. But the Devils on the other end, when they did get pressure, just couldn't get the puck by Van Beesbroek.
Flipped into center. Rangers with 1:49 left to go. Hook checked away. Messier drops it back for Hardy. Devils will go 500 here at home again if they fail to win this. They'll be 8-8, including the neutral site game, which they won in Hamilton. Patrick flips it up along the boards. Messier's got it. Rangers back. Joey Koser. Koser intended for Messier. Kasatonov blocked it. Alexei Kasatonov up to Jim Dowd. Billy Guerin. Guerin, Dowd. Pellerin on this line now for the Devils. Guerin trying to run it in. Wells tipped it away. Graves got it to the red line and dumps. Niedermeyer picks it up. Van Beesbroek in net, looking for the second save of the season for the Rangers and himself. That one tipped up in the air behind the net, centered again by Niedermeyer. Scott Pellerin into the corner for it. Pellerin and King. Joe Cirella goes back to get it. Bobby Holy couldn't knock it down. They'll wave off any icing. Played by Kasatonov. It's the Ranger fans who are here who are making the noise right now.
Yeah, this puts a lot of pressure on the Devils in that game at Madison Square Garden. They don't want to get back to 500.
Millette shot blocked by Hardy. 20 seconds left. Millette centering pass. King blocked it. McKay had it. McKay trying to get a shot off here. There'll be a whistle. Broughton, McKay exchange glove blows with Patrick down on the ice and the puck underneath it.
Again, the Devils have not been 500 since game 2 of the season when they were 1-1.
They keep getting awful close to it.
They avoided it last game against Tampa Bay to move 2 games over 500, 16-14-1. But now they go back to Madison Square Garden. They've only won 1 game there in their last 13.
Randy McKay having to be backed off. He's had the helmet flipped off a couple of times. 16 9/10 remaining to go here in this game as the New York Rangers not ready to put it away. John Van Beesbrook, 13 career shutouts. He had a couple last year, 3 the year before. And if he gets this one, it'll be his second shutout already this season. Troy Millette of the Devils and Nemchinov on the faceoff. Into the corner, played by Joe Cirella. Cirella rounded out the center. Final 10 seconds left here. Kasatonov back into the middle. And John Van Beesbrook will get the shutout. Shot in by Bobby Holik. He tips it away, and this game is over. The Rangers beat the Devils 3-0. Van Beesbrook's 10th win of the season. He's 10-5-2. He's won his last 5, and he shuts the Devils out for the second time in his career. He did it back in '86 in a 9-0 Ranger win at Madison Square Garden.
A good road team effort by the New York Rangers. They got the lead in the first period. They never really let the Devils get anything started as far as getting a goal and getting the crowd into the game. And played a very good, as I said, a good road game here at the Meadowlands.
For Craig Billington, the losing goaltender, he now goes 10-5-1. Billington now 1-2 this season and 3-2 lifetime against the Rangers. Van Beesbrook this year 2-1 against the Devils. Lifetime, that's his 20th win against the Devils. He's 20-18-2 against New Jersey. In our final, the Rangers 3 and the Devils 0.
New York in June. How about you? I like a Gershwin tune. How about you?
This is Spike Lee for General Tire. Make sure you take new Gen-Seal puncture-resistant tires on your next trip to New York. You're gonna need them.
How about you?
Rangers with a shutout win over the Devils by a score of 3-0. Graves had his 13th in the first period. Hardy got his first goal of the season in the second period. And the only scoring in the third period, Mark Messier's 17th. Graves picking up the assist that came at 5:33, the third and final goal of this game. Devils had the advantage in shots on goal throughout. You take a look at that. How defensive did the Rangers play in that third period? 35-17, but that's not the way it ended up on the board.
Gary, our Budweiser play of the game, going to be Messier's goal. The score was 2-0 for the Rangers. The Devils were on the power play. They needed to get a goal to get back in the game. But just as Broughton is stepping out of the box, you're going to see why Mark Messier is one of the all-time leading scorers in the National Hockey League. They mentioned at the time, watch how well Messier shoots off that offside. He goes in, he uses Broughton just so that it has a little look, and then fires it up over top. You can't read where Messier is going to shoot the puck. It looked like he was going to shoot low, and then all of a sudden up over top. And that's our Budweiser play of the game.
Messier, the third star tonight. Graves with 2 points and a great game overall, second star. And Van Beesbrook, first star with the shutout.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says New Jersey Bell on the front.
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
Nobody could score on the power play in this game. The Rangers ended up 0 for 4, and for the Devils, they went 0 for 7. So their drought in that department continues here. The Rangers coming away with a 3-0 win, and now the Devils have got to take it to Madison Square Garden,
where it's going to be very tough. If the Rangers continue to, they're 6-1-1 in their last 8 games. Van Beesbrook's won his last 5, a couple of shutouts in those last 5 games. And again, I watched a couple games on TV, and just reading things in the paper, you could see that the Rangers were starting to talk about themselves more than all the problems they were having. They're talking about good things that were happening around the team, and they seem to be, after going through a rough first 20 games, settling down and getting back to where they were last year.
Rangers seem to have a sense now of who's going to be on this team, while the New Jersey Devils, I think, is still a lot of wondering going on as to who's going to be where for what games here in the immediate future, much less the long term.
Well, I think the first thing when you're talking to Devil players, trades. I mean, that's what they're wondering. Who's going? Is someone coming in? And I would say, you know, after a couple of performances like this, where they're working hard. I mean, they came out and they gave it everything they had. They outshot them 34-17. But you could almost feel like they weren't going to score. The puck wasn't going to go in the net, and that's not something that can continue, especially at home. Again, we talked about that home ice personality. They have to soon start to assume it. Someone's got to take charge.
All right, we're not going to be back until after the Christmas season's over, so happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
Have a very merry.
And all of you, we hope you have a great and safe holiday. Our final here at the Meadowlands, the New Jersey Devils shut out with the New York Rangers, the final 3-0. Remember, tomorrow at 7:30, the Nets will take on the birdless Boston Celtics. I don't write it, I only read it. Wednesday, the Islanders are in Montreal to take on the Canadiens. The Devils will be back on Sportschannel Sunday night. Note the start time, especially if you're going to be here, and we hope you will. Sunday, it is a 5 o'clock game here at the Meadowlands against the Hartford Whalers. For Peter McNab, Stan Fischler, and all of our crew, this is Gary Thorne saying so long until Sunday, and thanks for watching Devils Hockey on Sportschannel. We'll now be joining Don Cherry's Grapevine in progress. Have a great holiday, everybody.